Happy Tuesday. You are listening to Real Talk with Karen Stacy live on MiamiMikeRadio.com. And tonight, Real Talk is Meal Talk with Annette. So I just want to, it was very cute when we were talking the other day when we were trying to come up with thoughts, and you were like, it's meal talk. I was like, I love it. I'm using that.
Because it's always food with me.
I love it. Well, I want to introduce you guys to Annette. How do you say your last name?
Zito.
Annette Zito. And, you know, I know you have watched the show before.
Yes.
So you know that my shtick is anytime somebody comes on, I say, you know, we want to let the listeners know, you know, who we're talking to. So before I tell everybody the horrific day I had, because of course I got to talk about it.
And I don't know about it, so
and
I want to know.
And you don't know about it. So Annette, tell everybody who you are on Miami Mike Radio and the land out there.
Terrific. Well, I have a blog and a channel called Kitchenette, because I'm Annette, Kitch,
That's
me.
very cute.
I'm very cute sometimes.
You're very cute.
And I've been doing that for about 10 years, and I come from this whole food family, so it's all about food in my world. And I authored a book that I'll show to everybody.
Yes, show the book.
I can't let you, the listening people see it.
Well, please tell them the title.
It's Kitchenette Red Carpet Menus. Delicious dishes inspired by 20 years of Oscar Best Picture nominations. Crazy. I take the Best Picture nominations of Oscars since 1995 and I turn them into a cohesive meal. It's difficult.
A very beautiful cover as well.
Thank you. I designed it.
And last week I had on Donna Martini, and she is an author as well. She wrote the mini book of Mighty Mantras.
Wow!
And if you were listening,
no,
she's
not home.
An intuitive coach. I probably screwed up the name too because I'm terrible with names, which is why I don't call anybody by their name because I never get them right. But now I'm like, I feel special. I have 2 authors in the building. I mean, one after another. That's pretty freaking cool.
Time for you to write your book.
You know, and you're not the first person who said that to me. My problem is I write like I talk. So that's scary.
So you just have to get a good editor.
Yeah, well, yeah, somebody, I mean, that, and you know, I don't know how one would do that, but after a lot of the stuff that I've been through, people have said to me, you should write a book.
Absolutely.
And actually, my dad went to school. Like he wanted to learn how to write, and my dad's been working on it. But you know, my father would critique everything, so I would end up with like a sentence. He'd be like, "Karen, that's too much. You don't have to write that. You don't have to write. You know, oh, we got to cut that back. That was too much." I would have a sentence by the end of it.
He'd say, "Thank you very much for those criticisms. I will take them under advisement."
Yeah. Well. It doesn't work like that, but
dads.
Yeah. So now you have you wrote your book,
correct?
You have a YouTube channel? You said
I do.
And what's the name of that?
It's Kitchenette, which is Kitch, my name. So it's Kitch Annette. So it's a play on words. It's not the small dinette set.
Right.
Or a little kitchen.
Right. Although she's a little one, so it's apropos. Okay, so and then the blog is the same thing.
Correct.
So when I'm still a little like, the whole blogging thing is a bit like, I'm a little like, I'm not sure about that. Like I tried writing stuff, like, and when my husband had first died, I wrote stuff, but I don't know that I got the whole blog thing. Like, I don't get that. So what do you do with that? Like, you just write recipes? What is that?
I write stories. Like, I'll say something that's inspiring, whatever I'm cooking or whatever my mood is. Okay. Like, if it's really hot and humid out, then I'm really writing a lot. I'm just telling you something about how I got to the dish I'm presenting that particular week.
Okay. See, now I would be like, I'm sweating my bahoobies off, so I ain't making crap, and we're having ice for dinner. So,
well, see, then you have the lovely cantaloupe and ricotta parfait with a little cinnamon on top.
Yes. Do you see what she brought? She brought me. It's so pretty. And then I don't even have these type of glasses, so she was gonna assemble it here. It's a beautiful parfait, and the funny thing is that we went back and forth because she was like, what should I bring? So she wanted to make hummus, And I said, I don't know if you want to be in the same room with me if you make hummus. I mean, I love it, but I don't know how that's going to end up. And I said,
pun intended.
So I said, but we were talking about maybe, a snack of some type. And then we were talking about a dessert. And I was saying how, like, we were going back and forth because you're like, oh, I can make an apple cobbler. Oh, I can make that. And I go, I don't really eat carbs. So you're like, oh, well, I can do an apple cobbler. And I was like, no, that's all carbs. Like, I'm not going to eat that.
Right,
so,
the strawberry tart, not much crust.
Right. She's like, it's not much crust. It's not that bad. And I'm like, no. So when she said I could do the parfait, and she said, I'll make it with the gut and then the cantaloupe. So I said, all right, cantaloupe is a lower sugar fruit.
Yeah.
And then the ragout is, and then she wanted to do low fat. I said,
well, I thought you wanted the low fat because you were concerned. I know full fat's better.
Yes. No, I am not. When 100 years ago, when that whole low fat crap came into effect, my whole house was like that. My mother bought everything like that. The Diet Pepsi, zero fat and all of that. And none of us knew that you were killing yourself with that, right? And I truly do believe, I mean, sad to say, my mother has dementia. And I often wonder if it had to do with all of that fat-free stuff and maybe her brain didn't get the proper nutrients because your brain needs fat.
It does. It needs real ingredients.
We've learned over the years, but unfortunately we were part of that era that all these things were introduced and no one gave a shit about, like, if you were healthy, you just had to look good.
Exactly.
Right? So it was a very, so I really think, I mean, as with everything, we don't know until the generations, get older and then you see the repercussions of these things. But I truly believe that, depleting your brain of these things is no good. So, and then besides that, on a health issue, besides the brain, what they do to take the fat out means they have to put sugar in, number one. So
some version of something.
Right, and it's not even sugar, it's a chemical. So
exactly, like sugar alcohol or weird names of things.
Well, sugar alcohol isn't as, the sugar alcohol
bad,
doesn't spike your sugar. So if you're...
Well, they use those in like the protein bars.
Right. So those don't spike you the same way if you're insulin sensitive or whatever. But it's chemicals. I mean,
I know.
There's no fat-free cow. I mean, it's like, it just doesn't happen.
And they do have a commercial where the cows are walking quite a bit. They put little fitness trackers on them. So they're not fat. They're just cows.
Right. Okay. Well, they're not fat. They're just pleasantly plump.
Exactly.
But again, a lot of people think, as we're talking about food, it's a great topic, right? Because so many people want a low fat whatever, and a low fat whatever is going to kill you, and it's going to make you fat eventually.
Because you're going to have double thinking, oh, I could get away with this, or it's not satisfying, but the full fat will make you feel more satiated.
A, and B, the low fat is all processed shit. So that's why it's going to kill you, because God forbid cancer and all these other things that are going to be, laden into your food. So that's more of an issue, to me than anything else.
Well, I'm a big proponent of reading ingredients. Right. Because if you don't read your ingredients, then you have you don't know what you're putting in your body. It seems when people have kids, then they start paying attention to ingredients.
Sure.
When it's sort of like the mask on a plane. First for you, then for the kids. You've got to take care of yourself as an example, as being healthy for your kids and your family, and then yourself.
It's funny that you say that, because I use that analogy in life all the time.
I do all the time.
And I didn't know if you had heard me say it on the show.
No, I didn't.
I have used that analogy, and I learned that the hard way, because they always say, if you don't take care of yourself, then you can't take care of anybody else. And most of us that are... people that take care of other people, that are nurturers, we don't think that way. So the minute that mask would come down, the first thing you think about is putting it on the person that you're helping.
Right.
And you don't think about yourself. And unfortunately, in doing that, if you're not good, nobody around you is good.
100%.
So it's a very hard thing, especially, some of us that are more caregivers than others. It's a very difficult thing to program yourself to do. But it is true. After I had my son, I was always health conscious because I was a dancer. And so my mother with the fat free and all of that. So like I was always fat, no matter what I was.
Oh God.
I was always fat. So I had bad issues with all of that. So I was always on a diet. I was always trying to lose weight. My mother, that was, like that was how I was raised,
Counting the calories, the little calorie books. We had those all the time.
So I went to one of the camps. I forgot, it was a dance camp. And it was all these little ballerinias and, the hair pulled back so tight that, they have chinky eyes and, and the pink tights and the black, leotards and stuff. I also went to performing arts high school. And, there was a girl, she used to eat 500 calories a day.
Oh God.
So like for
That's not
lunch, she had, I want to say like a half a yogurt. And like, I swear to God, like a half an apple. Like she ate like 500. And I was like, how the hell can you survive on that? And now don't forget, she was like, I don't know. I was young. Definitely before high school.
Oh
so
my God. Young. That's really young.
I was young. So like, you got to wonder how, like, I don't even know. I hope she's healthy now. Because,
exactly.
You deplete your body like that. But we didn't know that, right? Because 500 calories. Like 500 calories.
That's crazy.
I drink that when I drink that.
I think I have 500 calories right in cute little bottles.
Yeah, exactly. That we're gonna have to pop open.
We have little Prosecco's.
Have little Prosecco's. I have to actually, while I'm talking here, I have to try this parfait because it really looks so good that my mouth is kind of watering. So I have to try it.
Well, it's certainly a great thing that cooking is sometimes just assembly. So it's just melon balling and regatta.
Some assembly required?
Just slight assembly. But my mother always used to give us, sometimes for lunch, a half a cantaloupe with regatta in the middle and be like, here's lunch. And it was so good. It was like a treat, not like she gave it to us like it was gruel. And it was so good. So it, to me, is a great combination. I'm not a cottage cheese person.
I'm not either. And I was going to say, most people do cottage cheese. But I'll tell you this. I tried the cottage cheese thing. And if you put it in like the blender or use the hand mixer.
So it's smaller curds?
No, it doesn't. It gets rid of it.
That
was freaking awesome. And that has a lot of protein in it.
I know. It's good to have.
No, but try it. What I'm saying. Look, I'm telling you, I'm giving you
No,
cooking
that's
thing.
fine.
But I saw it on something and I too was like, you really should try the cottage cheese. It's so much better for you because yogurt. We talked about this. You wanted to bring yogurt.
I wanted berries and yogurt instead of this.
No yogurt. It's all sugar. No yogurt. I said and then what I've done when I do, like when I'm really strict on my no carbs and stuff, I'll do the regatta and then I'll put like at the time I used stevia or one of those
little packets.
The lighter, the more healthy sugar.
Truvia or stevia.
Yeah, one of those.
I think is the one that's supposed to be better.
Whichever one. There's something wrong with all of them.
Exactly.
Once you use one, they tell you there's something wrong with the other one. So.
Yeah, I put cinnamon and I'm good. Or a little vanilla. But pure vanilla because, all right, you want a gross fact about food?
Oh, God. Okay.
Is everybody ready for this? Always buy pure vanilla. Always look at your ingredients. Never buy something that says natural flavoring, quote unquote.
All natural.
Because it's true, it might be natural, but it can also be this element that is the secretions of the anal glands of a beaver. I kid you not. It's called like colostrum or something like that.
Oh,
so you can look it up.
Well, no, colostrum is the milk.
The milk. It's a word like that, but I don't remember the word.
Look, I say the milk that comes out and I grab my boobs.
Well, that's what you meant. Hold on to it. It is disgusting. Who was the first person to sniff or lick the anal glands of a beaver to decide that it tastes kind of like strawberry, vanilla?
Somebody that's really rich right now. I've done worse and made no money off of it. So
I'm so grossed out.
Oh, God.
But that is why you should always buy all pure, even if it costs a little more money. Ultimately, you're in better shape.
Yeah, well, all natural is never, that means absolutely.
All natural. Like if things say all natural, then you look at the ingredients and they're all natural, that's fine. But when an ingredient says natural flavors, why can't you tell us what natural flavors? Grass is natural.
Right. What we got going
natural.
on there. Right.
Yeah. That's how I feel about food.
All right, so we're throwing up now. Give me a minute so I can gag myself here.
Gag me with a spoon.
Gag me with a spoon. So you guys are listening to Real Talk with Karen Stacy live on MiamiMikeRadio.com, and tonight it's Meal Talk. So who doesn't love food?
I don't trust people that just eat to live.
I know it's you
have
what?
to live to eat.
Yeah, well, okay, yes, but no. Like,
well, not excessively, but
again, I feel you gotta enjoy. Because,
yes.
You know what? Tomorrow is never promised. I say it all the time. I mean, myself today, I had a horrific. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. My day. I'm very grateful that
what happened.
It didn't go the same way, but. I am fostering a puppy, which I told you
Bella.
about. Yes, Bella. And so we've been trying to get her acclimated. And, like the first night, my son slept in my room with me. And then the second night, I was like, no, you need to go in your own room. And he was like, Mom, I don't want to confuse the dog. I said, oh, okay, you don't want to confuse the dog. So
Smart
I said,
kid.
okay, fine. So they stayed in my room Saturday night and Sunday night. Okay, so yesterday I said, and now I'm bad because I let the dog sleep in the bed, which I know you went shkivatz over.
Yeah, a little shkivatz.
So, I let the dog sleep in the bed. So, she was trying to connect and she was frightened and everything else. And I'm an animal person. I can't help it. I let her lay on my chest and I snuggled her up and whatever. So last night, I told him, you better go in your room. So I always go in his room. I lay down with him. He'll usually put his head on my chest and then, he'll fall asleep and I go in my room.
Like the puppy.
So, yeah. So now she wants to be on me. He wants to be on me. I'm like, all right. So I'm in his bed now and the dog is off because she doesn't know his bed. She doesn't know, where she is. So she's pacing around. She's kind of back and forth. I go, Noah, you're big enough now. You can go to sleep. Let me just take the dog in the other room. We all get quiet and everybody goes to sleep because mommy's tired. So he's like, all right. So I go in my room. I got the dog with me. Then my son, I hear him messing around in the room. I go to sleep already. So then he comes in. Oh, I just want to make sure the dog is okay. Noah, go to sleep. So he goes to sleep. All right, great. So we sleep. The dog was a little more active on my bed last night. So I wasn't sure where the hell she was. And she's like, 4 pounds. So I don't want to squish her. So next thing I know, at some time, she cries while she sleeps sometimes. So I kept waking up. I know. Please. I'm like, I need my head examined. So, I see, so now I hear my kid, he comes in, I don't even know, it had to be like 4:00 or something in the morning. So now I gotta move because he's climbing in the bed. So now I gotta move, make sure the dog isn't there. He gets in, all right, great. So anyway, we all go to sleep. The dog wants to lick our face. I'm like, it's sleep time, go to sleep. So everybody sleeps, and at 5:30, 5:45, my son started to wake up. She started to wake up. Okay, now I'm not a morning person. So I'm like, my son is old enough now that when he wakes up, he knows to very quietly sneak out of the room, or he leaves his room, he closes my door, and he goes downstairs and does his thing and lets me sleep in the morning, right? So he comes, so now he's awake and he's getting ready and the dog, this, that. I said, all right, listen, take the dog, bring it downstairs, feed her, put her on the wee-wee pad, whatever. So, okay. So he gets dressed. All right. So he walks down, he's going down the stairs, and all of a sudden I hear now, my son sometimes sounds like he's building a house when he's downstairs. And I'll scream are you all right? What's going on? And, he's like, and he'll be like, yeah, Mom, I'm fine. I just dropped whatever. So I'm hoping I had my Uggs on the side of the thing. Maybe he smashed into him. So I hear that noise and then I hear something that I didn't even never heard before. So it sounded like cries. So I fly out of my bed. I turn the light on. I see my kid like laying sprawled out on the stairs, almost at the bottom of the staircase.
Oh my God.
And he's like the noise is coming out of his body I don't recognize.
Oh my
and
God.
I can't get down the stairs. Like, I'm in a total panic. I'm looking at him. I didn't know what the hell happened. And while I'm looking at him trying to figure out if he's okay, I'm wondering if the dog is underneath him, because the dog can't walk the stairs.
Oh,
so
no.
he was holding the dog. So now I'm looking at him and I see that I know, that he's okay, but I don't really know what the hell happened. And I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, I can't breathe. And my back. And I'm like, okay. And I'm trying to calm down.
my God.
And then I'm like, Daddy, where's the dog? Because my heart is like the dog's under him, and he's 125 pounds and she's 4. So I'm like, and then I look over and I see that she was on the couch. So she must have gotten so scared she ran over there. So now I'm able to get him, he was able to, get up or whatever, and he's crying. My whole body is like shaking. I can barely walk with him. The dog's shaking. He's shaking. I'm shaking. So now I get him to the couch and I'm like spinning around because I don't know what the hell to do. Because anybody that has a kid knows that when something happens, even though you have to do something, your brain is telling you, okay, like my brain is like, go get the ice pack. Let's put the ice pack on him. And then everything else isn't working. So I'm in the freezer. I have every meat flying and falling out of the freezer, and I can't find the ice pack. And my son, who can't breathe, is like, Ma, the ice pack's on the side, And I'm like, oh my God. So I grabbed the ice pack, and it wasn't even the one I wanted, but I shoved 2 of them, on his back or whatever. And now I'm trying to figure out if he actually got hurt or not, because my son is also a drama king, which I don't know where he gets that
I
from.
can't imagine
I don't know.
where he gets any
so
of it from.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, because my son will be like, he'll say for whatever. So now I'm in a complete panic, and I see that, he's okay. I could see he's in pain, but I saw he was okay. I looked at the dog. The dog looked like she was okay. So I took a deep breath, and I'm like, all right, let's reassess here, and let's see what happens. So my son is a huge bath person, and whenever he gets upset or anxious or whatever, he always enjoys taking a bath. It calms him down. So I said, all right, let's take a hot bath, because a hot bath is going to be good regardless, right? So
relax.
Now we're upstairs. He's in the bath. He's got the bath going. I got the dog. I'm sitting on the bowl, like, the bowl's closed. I'm sitting on the bowl. Yeah, I wasn't actually going to the bathroom.
That'd be gross.
I'm on the bowl. I got the dog on me, and I'm sitting there. My body is trembling. The poor dog is shaking. Like, it had to be an hour, because I don't know exactly what happened. He said that it was the bottom step. So it wasn't like I have one flight, and then there's like the little mini, like there's like 3 steps after that. So they said that he said that it was just those bottom steps,
and he just slipped.
The dog was on top of him, fell on top of him.
Oh,
so
that was good.
He broke her fall,
right?
And then she probably just panicked and jumped off.
And he was in such total shock. The wind got totally knocked out of him.
Well, it wasn't just the shock; it was where it hit him on his back, because it was like his upper. It went like it upper and lower back, so he bashed.
That's
the
where,
upper back.
Right,
that's where his lungs are.
Oh,
right.
God, that's
so
kid.
That was probably what happened. So I'm sure it scared the crap out of him, because he couldn't breathe and he was in pain. And of course, now that scared me, because I'm like, you're a mother. Oh my God.
What's going on?
Right. So, you're in, and you're telling yourself, right. You're telling yourself like you're being crazy, but you can't help it. It's your kid. So, you get a little nuts. So I, like I said, I got him in the tub. She got in, and I said, all right, everybody get in mommy's bed.
Oh God.
And that's because I said, my son, I'm like, me, I'm mother of the year. I'm like, all right, you're going to school, right?
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah, you're fine. No big deal. But, it was very traumatic for him. I knew it was traumatic, and I'm not going to just, in this day and age, you got all the homework on the computer anyway.
So he could do it from home.
He wasn't gonna, be behind, but for his emotional, well-being, I'm not going to just shove him off to school. He was nervous.
Right.
He was scared. And then he's such a good kid that he was more, like he said to me, I'm so sorry. He said, Mommy, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't hurt the dog. I'm so sorry if I scared you.
Aw.
And this is what he's thinking about, And I'm like, Noah, please, it's an accident. These things happen. I said, and
poor kid.
you
So cute.
had this stuff, you had her in your arms, so you didn't think, if you don't have something in your arms and you're going to go fall, you grip yourself. But he held that baby.
He was a hero to the baby.
That's right. Well, that's who he is. So, so that was fun. So that was how I started my day.
Yay.
Yeah. And so I was, got in the bed and we all just kind of chilled out together for a little bit. And then I did, take him to the chiropractor and they checked his back and he's good.
Oh, good.
But it was just like like a bizarro world day. And then I actually just didn't have it in me to cook tonight. Right? I should have made you.
I see, and I could have made something bigger.
And I said, you know what? Screw it. My son's favorite thing is sushi.
Oh.
So there's like a half-price sushi place not far from here. I said, you know what? Let's just order some sushi rolls. It'll make it nice and easy. I'm good to go. So we order, and it's like an hour and change later, and the food still didn't come yet. And of course, I have the show tonight, so I'm trying. I want to eat. I got to get my head right. I'm typing up everything, whatever I'm gonna do. Okay. So now my son is like, Ma, it's been like forever. Like, what's going on? So I call the place. She says the guy left. I said, okay. Okay. So now that was at I called 3, the later part of 3, closer to 4. 5, there was 4:45 when I called and they said he was on his way. 5:15, he's still not here.
That's weird.
So now I call back again. I go, look, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a pain in the ass here, but what's going on? So then she says, oh, the guy got a flat tire.
What a weird day.
So I'm telling you, bizarro world. So she says, the guy got a flat tire. I got to send another guy and
to get him, get the food.
Right. And then it'll come. So now I go, okay. So then I get a phone call from the driver, and the driver says, I don't know where he said he was, but I'm somewhere. Do you want to come get the food? So I said, well, I can't come get the food, which is why I ordered it in the first place. So he's like, I said, the lady said that somebody's coming to bring. He goes, I got a flat tire. And I go, okay. But the lady said she's coming to bring. And I go, okay. I don't understand. Okay. So, okay. So now I call the lady back. And I tell the lady, listen, he just, said that he asked me to go pick up the food. What's going on here? She goes, all right, give me a minute. Let me figure it out. I'll call you back. So in the interim, he comes and he's walking up my block. So wherever he was, he walked there from
holy moly.
For there. Right. So now I feel awful. I'm like, holy crap, this guy walked. And then she calls me after he delivered it to tell me that she's sending somebody to bring it. And I go, he just walked here and he brought it here. So is this bizarro world or what?
I will tell you, they said that tonight starts the supermoon.
You know what?
And there you go.
Up and you're right. There you go.
So there's your answer for everything is supermoon.
This is why I howl at them. Wait. Holy crap. No. So now that you say that, holy shit. Yesterday, so my son, I got a phone call yesterday. I swear to God, I was just getting on the highway to come home, and I got a phone call from him from school that his head was pounding, and I got to come get him. So I went to go pick him up, and I took him. I'm very holistic. I took him to the chiropractor. I did my peppermint oil. I did all my hocus pocus, and he was good. So yesterday he says to me, Mom, I don't know if I'm going to go to school tomorrow. I go, what do you mean you don't know if you're going to school tomorrow? There's nothing wrong with you. You're fine. You had a headache. You're fine. He goes, I don't know, Ma. I just don't know if I'm going to school tomorrow. So now,
how odd for him to.
So now, supermoon. And then and I said it to him this morning. I go, you said you weren't going to school today.
Did you trip on purpose, kid?
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
He didn't expect
so
that.
So
if he did.
6th sense. When the moon is, the moon.
And tonight it starts, but it always starts a couple of days before where the effects of the moon, allegedly, if you buy in.
Yeah, but it does because the moon does, if you are sensitive to energy, everything, the moon, the water, the tides, all 100%. Those things, No wonder. It all makes sense now.
Let's mull on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we need to pop these Prosecco's.
I'm with you, girl.
I don't know.
I don't know how.
I don't know how.
Well, I got to figure it out. Oh, these aren't pop. They're twists, I think.
They're the
little
screwy
guys.
things?
Yeah.
Well, you guys are listening to Real Talk with Karen Stacy live on towards our face.
It's not a pop. It's a thing. They can't pop off.
What do you mean it's not?
I think it's a twist because they're
right.
little
We'll do
bottles.
it that way, so it's not towards any of our faces.
It's a twist.
Oh my God, that's it. There's no pop.
That's what I'm telling you because it's a little cute bottle.
That's very anticlimactic.
I know.
That's very anticlimactic. I like it when it explodes like
But
that.
it smells nice.
Yeah, have you had this one before? I have.
No, I haven't actually. I just saw it was a cute bottle.
I'm not a lush. I've never had it before. I mean,
yeah. Well, open yours so we have a cheers.
Okay.
We're very sexy drinking out of the bottle.
We're very sexy because I didn't bring wine.
Well, she didn't know I was doing
What
it.
if we pour it in this?
You know what? I would do it, except the regatta might be weird.
Let's eat the regatta first, and then I'll eat the regatta off of it, and then
we'll see how
the cantaloupe with the prosecco. Oh, I think I just might have died and gone to heaven. So you are listening to Real Talk with Karen Stacy live on MiamiMikeRadio.com, and my guest. Well, we're doing Meal Talk with Annette. My guest is Annette Zito, and we have beautiful parfaits in front of us. Very sexy. Can you open this, please?
Yes.
Very sexy prosecco that I can't open. I sure can drink it, but I can't open it. Oh, there we go. Wow, this is like a twist off thing. This is very cool.
The little bottles.
So I don't know if you guys have a cocktail at home. If you do, let's raise your glass. We are doing, they're not my sponsor, but we're doing a La Marca Prosecco. We're going to do cheers. Cheers to everybody. This is to life, and this is to always remembering that tomorrow is never promised. And always remember, in the blink of an eye, everything can change. So I am extremely grateful today that my child is okay, that the dog is okay, and we're okay, and I will howl at the goddamn moon.
The super moon.
Woo! Woo! All right, here we go. That's good.
Delightful bubbles in my face.
Oh my. I hope that you guys had a drink with us because that was really that was delicious.
That was a delightful little.
Yeah, I want to eat all this regatta so I can put this in and it could soak up the cantaloupe.
Oh, because nothing is better than when you have alcohol and fruit. I'm sorry for anybody who doesn't imbibe, but
yes, I'm very sorry for anybody that doesn't drink and that doesn't like this. Although this is like, well, this is not considered vegan? Wait, what do we regatta? So it's not vegan.
No, it's not
because
vegan because it's dairy.
It has dairy in it. Okay. Well, look at me. Like a gavon.
But it is vegetarian.
That's true. So that was what I was going to say. When it comes to, you cooking and so like you create recipes, is that what you do? So where do you get the inspiration to create recipes?
Really, I get it from whatever is striking me in that moment. Like last year, I wanted to make pesto, but it's a pain in the butt. So I thought, why can't I do a deconstructed pesto? And I thought,
what does that mean?
Literally just throw it all in the pan instead of make it all separate. So chop up the basil, and I did it with zucchini noodles because I was being healthy, and I love the idea of doing it.
Pesto with zucchini noodles and olive oil. Oh my God, so good!
They are so. I love them, and it's kind of fun to make them too instead of just buying them already done.
Yeah, no, I.
Well, you get the little thing. You have a kid, and you make him twist it. He'll feel like he's part of it.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
No, thank you.
All right, well,
I'll buy
them fresh.
I'll buy them, but you know what? I'll buy them. You make them.
Well, it's easy enough. I have a whole warehouse full of. I also have a wholesale fruit and produce warehouse.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'm all on the case.
Wow.
I'm food related. My family had a deli. If anyone's from the Bronx and grew up in Morris Park.
Hello, who's your family?
Do you remember Nancy's Deli?
Where is it?
It was on Morris Park by Loretto Park.
By Loretto Park?
Yeah. Not Ann Clair. That was...
Right.
That's by Williamsbridge. A
Right.
couple of blocks further south.
All right, I don't know north and south. So
Okay, so a couple of blocks, like there's Loretto Park, And on one side of the park by Williamsbridge Road, there's Aunt Claire.
Yep.
On the other side, there was Nancy's Deli.
Oh, across the street, you mean?
No, same side of the street, on the park side.
Oh, yes. Okay.
But it was gone since the 70s. I don't even know how old you are, so you might be a baby.
How old? I'm going to be, oh my God, I'm going to be 49 next month.
Sort of a baby. You're
I'm
5
a
years younger
baby?
than me.
Oh, I like that.
So you would have been like 6 when they closed. When they
okay. Because I
transferred it.
grew up. I grew up in the Bronx.
Right. No, I know you said you grew up in the Bronx.
Yeah.
I know that about you. We have those dulcet tones of our accents.
Oh, just a tad bit. Well, yours is a hell of a lot better than mine. I mean, I'm like, we went to, I think I've told this story on the air before. We went to Tahiti for our anniversary, honeymoon. And I was talking, and I guess these people, I don't know where the hell they were from, and they're like, oh my God, she sounds like the Sopranos, like they're gonna whack us. And I was like, oh my God, I looked at my husband like, are they kidding me right now? Like, this is so funny.
Well, I will tell you a similar thing. I was in England. I was in London, and I was seeing the play Saturday Night Fever before
nice.
It came to the United States, which it really didn't do very well. But we're there, and they have all these actors who aren't Americans, certainly not New Yorkers, in the roles. I'm talking to my friend who I was at the theater with, and someone thought I was part of the show.
Oh, because you sounded
because
more
I
like
sounded
them
more
than
like them
they
than
did.
they did. And Saturday Night Fever does have a character named Annette, right?
Oh, yeah.
Cigarette Annette, a terrible character. I would never do anything that character did.
Oh my.
But it was kind of a funny thing. And my accent really isn't the worst. That,
No,
it could
not
be
at
much
all.
worse.
No, you don't. Your accent is not bad at all. I don't think so. Right, but don't base anything off of me. I don't hear it.
My mother raised us always saying enunciate. Always with a new vocabulary word every day to help us out.
Well, my grandmother was like so articulate and soft spoken and everything else. She must have cringed when I spoke. I mean, she was just the epitome of a lady, and I like to think I take after her, but I don't know.
Now all of a sudden I have Tom Jones singing, "She's a lady."
Oh, there you go.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey, you're not
I don't want
bad.
to. I could sing.
You're
I
not
have my
bad.
past.
You see? Good for you. We all have a past in that. It's whether it's good or not.
It's a good past.
It's whether it's good or not.
I have a smidge of a little talent.
A smidge of talent. Well, cooking is creative, and certainly creating meals. Like, to me, that's one of the hardest things. Like, we all love to eat, but let's think about this. Mm-hmm. Eating is something you do every single day.
Several times a day.
Several times a day. Thank you for pointing that out as well. So now, I get bored very easily with everything. So now it's like, okay, we had chicken. Okay, we had steak. Okay, we had the, and then I'm like, all right, I'm going to switch it up and we're going to do that. And then it's like, you know what? I don't even feel like eating. Like, I'm just bored.
I get it.
And then like you want something completely different. That's why like Japanese food, like sushi, is a taste that a flavor you won't get in any other type of food, right? So, some people skeeve, but if that's what that's a particular taste. And just the same way, you can't just eat that whenever. Like, anybody can eat, like macaroni or something any time, it doesn't matter. Like my son, my husband used to do morning, noon, night, don't matter. Macaroni. You can eat it for breakfast. And sushi, you can't really eat for breakfast. You're going to throw up. Like,
Well, in my house, because my dad always worked nights because of the vegetable business.
Okay.
We had White Castle. He'd bring White Castle home. We'd have it for breakfast before we go to high school. Like, so I don't have that. Crazy.
White Castle is something you can eat at any given moment in the day.
Well, let's get back to that eating crap conversation.
Right. Well,
but it does have that.
It's
got that festive post night quality.
Yeah. If you don't, and anybody that, I don't know, is White Castle just a New York thing?
I don't know if it is. I probably not anymore.
Because I'm wondering,
Allerton Avenue and Fordham, I think, were the only ones
it was
for a long time.
Yep. Well, I lived down the block from there. That's my first apartment. That's when my husband grew up.
Oh, okay.
So, there nothing better than 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, White Castle.
If you can't get to a diner, because I have to admit, disco fries at 3 o'clock in the morning are kind of delightful.
Yeah, well, yes, but no, because nothing beats White Castle. I mean, what you can't eat a murder burger. There is nothing in the world that tastes like a White Castle mystery meat burger. Okay, And me and my girlfriend, actually, one of a friend that I used to have, her and her husband now were very into White Castle. I think we watched a documentary on it, actually, or maybe my late husband did, but they use I mean, I don't know what kind of meat it actually is, but no, I'm not even teasing, but it's a very high fiber meat. Like, I don't know what the hell it is.
I don't know what it is. I don't eat
mystery meat. Well, I don't either, unless I do.
And it's like something you don't seek out, but once you have it and it's in front of you.
There is nothing in the world like a murder burger. And, when you don't eat that kind of stuff, you eat 2 of them, you're done. If you eat any more, you're going to be deathly ill. Anybody that eats White Castle, that's why they call them murder burgers.
Exactly.
Because it's like, the hummus that you were going to bring over today. It cleans you right out.
Oh, not my hummus.
Yeah, not mine.
It was going to be homemade, of course.
I love to make hummus. I make
so
it. My
easy.
son loves it. Yeah, I should have told you, so this way I could have made him. I could have had him
give it to him.
Right?
Yeah,
but yeah, no. That's I wonder if anybody. I don't know if I can see the feed right now, but White Castle is just like,
we haven't looked at the feed
the
at
best.
all.
No, we haven't.
I've seen things coming up on the
screen. That's the reason why I always say, to everybody to forgive me if I don't respond on the live feed. I know sometimes, people want to chime in. I'm working on improving things so that I can do more interaction. But right now, like, I have my Facebook Live, and it is like within eye shot of us, but not eye shot enough that we can see the comments.
We're not 20 anymore.
Right. Well, actually, it's better because the further it is away, the better we can see, right?
Not me. No. I had an eye operation too. Still not great.
I can't see. I got to take my glasses off. I got to put them on. Forget about it. It
is a distance, so
it is. But I mean,
it's not like as big.
I could, if I really went in, I could probably see it. But I do look on my phone. But when we're talking, it's hard to do both because now
Agreed.
I'm not paying attention to you if I'm doing that. So, I like to designate certain shows where I actually interact and I go off of. I think you've seen that show before, where I'm kind of on my own and I'm reading what everybody says. But today we're talking, and we're talking about food. So I was asking you before we got caught up on getting bored and stuff. Is what do you do to keep it? It's like a marriage. What do you do to keep it fresh? Yeah, what do you do?
It's really just, I don't plan. It's really what I'm in the mood for. I always want to be some kind of protein, thinking about everything, keeping the carbs down, because that's me, working on a spring body. I know we should love ourselves as we are. Right now, I love myself as I am, but I want less of me.
Yeah, well,
so I'm working hard for it. And it's just changing it up. Like lately, I've had pork chops on the brain, and lately it's been roasted vegetables. Because at the end of the day, you could do everything so quickly. And also, it's the time thing. Like, what can I make? I really would like this, but I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't give a crap. You want to do stuff that's really simple, and really cooking doesn't take a lot of time, which is what started me doing the blog in the first place.
So now I haven't had the opportunity to go through everything. I know I've seen some of your recipes and some of your stuff. So that was the thing, with Rachel Ray, when she first started with that 30-minute meal thing,
right.
I Google recipes that, if there's 3 ingredients or 4 ingredients, I'm like, all right, great. If I see something and they're like, prepare to put this, I'm like, forget about it. I'm done. It's got to be
too many steps.
Take this, put that, right. Exactly. Or 3,000 ingredients.
I sometimes with spices, I noticed recently when I did my Oscar menu this year, because it was 8 movies were up for Best Picture. That means there were 8 dishes.
Okay.
And it had to be a whole meal.
Okay.
So it became a thing about ingredients. And one thing I used this Burberry spices thing, and that's 11 different spices to make the spice mix. That was a separate thing. I couldn't find it in the store, so I just threw it in as a hack. But that would be too much. But ultimately, if you bought the Burberry spices, which you could do, then it's easy to do. And then I also did a blackened chicken, Like it's just shaking up your flavor profile. Sometimes it's just using a different blend of spices instead of just salt and pepper and parsley or basil, like in an Italian style, which is how I grew up. And I think it sounds like how you grew up.
I believe it or not, I'm an adobo girl.
Oh, really?
Yep. I shove
adobo. But that's delicious too.
And that really does it all. I mean, you throw that on. I mean, if I'm at my bare minimum, I just throw that on. I'll grill it up. I'll do whatever. I'm good to go.
That's a great thing. But there's also like the cumin and the cayenne and things that are spicy but not as hot as people would have you believe. Like a little touch of cayenne in even something that's sweet. It just spikes up the flavor. It's beautiful. I'm learning more about spices as I experiment more.
Yep.
Because I do my pun food. So there's the dishes that sound like things like for the movies.
Okay.
Like I can't even think of any right now. What were the movies up? Well,
I wanted the wrong person.
I know you don't care about movies.
I saw.
Oh my God! I just got some of my tickets for Tribeca Film Festival.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. I can't tell you the last movie I saw in the movie theater had to be like, I don't know, Finding Dory or something.
Oh, God.
I don't know. It was one of those things. It was some freaking movie for my kid that I'm hysterical over because
those
all
are
those
always
goddamn
good.
Disney movies or whatever it is, I'm hysterical.
I think my first kid movie, like to go with kids to see, was Up, which was so good. If you haven't seen Up, watch it. It doesn't matter if you're an adult. Watch it. It's on cable.
Never heard
Up.
of it.
Oh my God.
Oh, wait a second.
You've
the last
heard of
movie I saw Cruise because one of the guys, Gino Caffarelli, that's on our radio station, he produced and was in the movie, and we did the release for it and everything.
Oh, wow.
With the station. And that is the one movie that I actually watched. I watch it at home. I paid for it or whatever. I didn't even know how to do that. I mean, seriously. And it was an amazing movie, which you should, if you're into like the old, I don't know what kind of music you like.
I varies. Again, it's mood. It's like food. It's
the movie
nothing
Cruise,
specific.
I'm telling you, it was awesome. The soundtrack, some of the DJs on our station did some of the mixing on it. I'm telling you, great movie.
I will check that out for sure.
You can eat murder burgers while watching Cruise. It'll be perfect.
See now that's like combining that.
Yes.
You're getting now into the thing I do.
Yes.
Only I name it like the movie. So why can't I think? But I have.
Well, you'll be cruising to the bathroom.
That's
murder burgers. Cruising.
Murder burgers. Discuss. No, I'm going to check out something in my book to like give you an example because this is the twisted things that I do. Let's find a good one because. Well, there was the Avatar, and it was a blueberry tart.
Okay, that's very cute.
Yes, and those days I wasn't as cohesive back to the movie. I got better about it as time went on. There was the filet mignon for Philomena.
See, that's meat for all of the vegans and
Nebraska corn.
Brass corn, like
it was creamed corn because it was Nebraska, which is where the corn's from.
See
I get there.
You're like me. You got methods to your madness.
Oh, there's a method to my madness, and it's gotten better. It's just every year becomes the greatest challenge, and this year was a whole Southern style menu, so every year it's a little bit different.
I love that. I love any kind of. Again, I like different flavors.
I agree.
You can't get stuff like that anywhere. And some people like very bland. They don't like too much. They like simple. I like simple to prepare. I don't like too many different flavors, but I like even like a good drink. When a good drink is mixed, properly,
correct,
it's balanced.
Yes.
So it's like when you first take a sip of it, you taste like, let's say, the floral or the fruity, and then as it goes down, you might get a hint of a
all
background,
notes, yeah.
Thing. And I love that.
That's a perfume thing.
Yeah.
I used to work for Estee Lauder back in the day.
Yep.
And they used to say, do you have lotion on your arms? And we'd say, no. And you'd walk with them and you'd put out your arm and they'd spray it and people would be sniffing your arm. So you always said you had stuff after that. But you learned about the notes in perfume and how they start out at certain fragrances and then
levels,
the different notes.
And it deepens.
Yeah, there's like 3 levels of it.
Right.
And flavor is the same.
Yeah.
It's really like
true.
that.
It's true. And and then you just like, it's so sexy. It like explodes in your mouth. You're like, whoa, what was that? Like,
exactly.
I love it. Yeah.
Some things are just like, oh my God. Like for Green Book, which was one of the movies that actually won Best Picture this year.
Okay.
I did Green Bake and it was a collard green and potato casserole. It was with bacon, and it was just everyone who doesn't care about a collard green. So they're usually very heavy. I don't find them to be a light vegetable. But this, I have to say, this casserole was the bomb, and everyone was freaking out about how delicious it was. And it was just like, you taste it and you don't expect, and then you have that flavor of bacon, and then just the right subtlety of the potato, and then it had a Parmesan sauce on top.
Had
and
me
you're
at
like,
bacon. Now you got cheese in it too. Jesus Christ!
oh, please. I had the spicy bacon bourbon corn for A Star Is Born. It was The Star Is Corn, so you get how I And the bourbon was because Jack. He needed, he was a little alcoholic. Okay. So I had to put something.
Now, are these recipes that you're mentioning in your book?
Those were this year.
That was this year.
The book is 20 years, like over 100 recipes of the same kind of thing.
So now where can we buy this?
On Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
And you can get to it through my site, which is kitchenette.com, KITCHANNETTE.com.
Now, they have a hard copy and like a digital, or it's just this. So now, can I ask you how much this book is?
That's $18.95.
Okay, and then the digital is?
I think it's $9.95.
$9.95.
I'm not quite sure with
See,
that one.
I always feel like with like a cookbook and recipes, sometimes I'd rather have the actual book.
I agree, because you can make notes. Online is sometimes tough, and then your screen will get dark when you're in the middle of using it.
Yeah. And then you got to touch it, and you got crap on your fingers. So
and
now you got like batter on your screen. You got something,
and you're cursing.
Yeah,
and it's not like Siri's
son of
going
a
to
bitch,
tell you.
And then it goes off, and now you can't do your thumbprint because you got
crap
on all over your thumb. So now you're like, God damn it! You're like, and then you'll go like Siri, and then like, Hey Siri, and then watch my phone. There it goes. It's started. And then but when you're like across the street, the thing, you're like, Hey Siri, and it doesn't answer you. And then when you need it, and then you'll say like, oh, could you pull that recipe up? And it'll go, I'm sorry, we don't know the time in Japan, and you're like, wait, what?
Or it says I have 12 different recipes. It's like, can we just go back to where we were?
Yeah, exactly. So that's
technology is delightful, but not when it doesn't work well.
Exactly. That's
then you want to throw
like
it against
everything
the wall.
In life.
Yes, when it's good, it's very good, and when it's bad, it's horrid.
Yeah.
Isn't that the old saying?
So now, but now let's see, the name of this is Red Carpet Menus. So if Kitchen Annette Red Carpet
No, just
menus.
Kitchenette.
Kitchenette, I'm sorry.
Yes.
See, I can't see.
No, that's what people do all the time, even if they see it. It's like your brain fills in the word kitchen, but it's just kitsch.
Right. Kitch Annette. So if somebody doesn't, if they can just remember that, they can search it on Amazon as well,
yes,
right?
Okay. Absolutely.
So you guys I have the book here just in case if you're seeing it on Facebook Live so you can see what it looks like. So again, don't make the same mistake as me. It's Kitch Annette, not Kitchenette. And
also you'll learn about movies. Like if you're not into movies, like what were the best? Well, if you're like, I never see movies much, but what would be good movies I get to see if I was watching? Well, all the Best Picture nominations by looking at the book, because that's what I make meals about. So,
all right. So I have a question for you.
I've got an answer, I bet.
Okay. So I want to know 3 things that you always have in your house or in your pantry.
Always have salt and pepper. I'll count those as 1. You must always have your spices.
Okay.
Because that's how you're going to get somewhere. I always have cinnamon. I use it in my coffee. I clearly use it on a parfait.
Which is actually very good for you, too. It helps with blood sugar and
inflammation. It's really terrific. What do I always have other than that? Eggs. You can always get away with that. I mean, those are the top 3 because you can always make an egg. You can always spice things up. As far as actual food things, there's always a pound of pasta in the house just in case. There's always a can of tomatoes, whole plum tomatoes peeled. Though, 3 is kind of tough.
I know.
It's,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm thinking, I don't always have to have milk or dairy in my house, but you probably should if you want to start baking things. But I'm staying away from the carbs, so unless it's for the blog, I'm not really baking that much anymore. After the Oscars, it's like I did little orange cakes for the favorite. It became the Favor Orange, little queen cakes. And then I have to talk about this. I did a beautiful trifle for Bohemian Rhapsody. It became Bohemian Raspberry. So it was sponge cake, homemade chocolate pudding, whipped cream, and a mix of fresh raspberries with raspberry jam. And then it was peppered with, or sprinkled, I should say, because it's not pepper, with raspberries on top. And it was So good. And that's a dessert you could throw together in 10 minutes. You don't have to bake the cake. I did. You could get a pound cake or a sponge cake.
Right.
You could buy the chocolate pudding.
Right.
Or use some other custard.
Right.
Whipped cream. Make some whipped cream, get some whipped cream. Takes a minute.
Right.
And berries and jam. Like, it's just terrific.
Well, that's like that lady, Sandra Lee. You know, I remember when she was semi-homemade. She
Oh,
was,
right. That's her
the
thing.
one that's like engaged to the mayor or whatever.
The governor.
The governor. I'll be all right.
Cuomo,
yes. Well, yeah. And so, like, you know, where you can do stuff like that, where you can put something together, but instead of, you know, like you said, making each thing from scratch, even though those things are simple enough to make. Making pudding is simple enough. Making a whipped cream is simple enough.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
But for people that aren't really that into it.
Yeah, like they run in the supermarket, you get your items, come home, it's assembly. It's like this.
Yeah.
Buy a head of cantaloupe, buy some ricotta, and suddenly it looks like you did something.
Right, which, you know, is...
Presentation is half the battle.
They always say that, right? Presentation is half the battle. I personally, I'm not like... I mean, you have to have presentation, but, you know, as long as it looks good and smells good, I'm like, all right, I'm good. I am a person that... One thing you will always find in my house is coconut oil.
I always have coconut oil in my house.
I shake if I don't have my coconut oil. Because coconut oil, for anybody out there, and don't take my coconut oil because if I can't find it, but anybody that doesn't know for a little health issue, coconut oil cures everything and anything.
It is so versatile.
You can eat it, you can wear it.
You can season pans with it.
Yeah, there is nothing you can't do.
Put it on your skin.
Yeah, wear it.
Put it in your hair.
Yeah. And, you know, also known to you know, prevent Alzheimer's and dementia. It aids in weight loss. It's an antifungal, antibacterial.
And there's something else, and I forget what it is. It's when you put it in your mouth and you kind of like swish it around. What is that called?
Oil pulling.
Yes.
That you can
That's
oil
supposed to be
pull.
healthy as well.
Yeah.
And you could use it for that.
All of that. I mean, there is literally nothing you can't do with coconut oil. So that is...
My mind's going
places. Well, and I was going to say that. You just can't mix it with any type of a rubber plastic substance or it breaks that down. But other than that, yes, you can... It's beneficial for everything.
And you can buy it now in Trader Joe's where it doesn't have as much of a coconut flavor.
Oh, okay.
They have regular coconut oil, and it's the extra virgin coconut oil. You want the best.
So is that the one that has a lesser coconut? I'm immune to it. It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me either, but I noticed it, so I haven't used it, so I haven't really investigated
Which one?
it.
Because there's the one that it has the green label and the
green
black label.
Yeah,
I
the
always
one that's
buy the
with
black label.
Right, and the green one is the one that
supposed
allegedly
to be less coconutty?
Flavor-wise. I don't know how they do that.
I gotta try it. Well, exactly. How do they do that? The same way they make a fat-free cow.
You gotta read those ingredients.
They gotta do something bad to it.
Yeah, more people are commenting. Maybe they know.
Yeah, well, definitely. I don't know. They're just yapping. I don't see that. But so coconut oil is my must.
Olive oil?
Yeah, I have olive oil and all that stuff. But I'm saying, like 3 of my top things. So coconut oil, espresso. Yeah, gotta have espresso because don't talk to me until I have that.
I'm so entertained by you.
Yeah, it's coconut oil, espresso, and I would probably, I mean, I've been better. I haven't been drinking at home, so I would say coconut, espresso, and tequila. But, you know, I think I could probably live off of those things, but...
There's a combo.
Yeah, but I would say coconut oil, espresso, and what would be the other, like my other staple that I couldn't, I'm trying to think what that would be. But yeah, probably tequila. That's a food group, isn't it?
It's something.
It's a food group.
It's made from a plant. Isn't it the extraction of
agave?
A plant? Right.
The agave.
There you go.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that works.
I'm on that case.
Okay, I like it.
It all comes from natural.
I like the rationale. Absolutely. Well, you guys are listening to Real Talk with Karen Stacy live on MiamiMikeRadio.com. And tonight we are Meal Talk with Annette and Karen. And we are talking about, different recipes and... different ways of eating. So I happen to, I don't know, do you enjoy, like, I like tweaking things, like tweaking recipes.
100%. That's how I come up with my recipes. I get an idea, like the royal wedding last year when Meghan
Say
Markle.
that 3 times fast.
Exactly. When Meghan married Harry. And the whole world was abuzz with the wedding, which they are fun to watch. I mean, I could get corny about it. And I wanted to make something on my blog for that. So I decided to make a lemon scone. And I looked at, and I usually I come up with like, I think I want to do that. And I've never done that before. So I want to see what a real, like, what is a scone recipe? What do people do? So I start scouring for scone recipes and I have an idea of what they should be. And then I see that most of them weren't like, that's not going to be lemony enough. Because I find when I have a scone, it's a little disappointing. Sometimes it's too crumbly.
Feels like it's missing something.
Always. It says it's a flavor, and then you're like forever
where is it?
Chasing the flavor.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, where is it?
So I said, okay, I can't do this recipe. So I doctor from different.
It's like a rice cake. It's no. It's
no
like
flavor.
You keep thinking,
but the rice cake isn't saying it's going to have a flavor.
No, it does. When they because if you get a rice cake that's supposed to have like that popcorn flavor,
right,
or whatever, it's like the same thing. It's like you're eating it and you're waiting. You're like, what? It's
like you're almost tasting harder.
I'm waiting for it to explode in my mouth, and there's nothing going on.
I can't take that, and I get very frustrated, and then it's a disappointment. So I didn't want to make a scone like that because that's ridiculous.
Right.
So I said, how can I make this my way? How can I make it better? So I decided how I should do that, and I just film it as I do it, like I've done it 15 times. I figure I can always redo it.
Okay.
And they came so good. And that's the other thing. Like, it's not that I have such this, like, oh, my recipes are so great. But I get so excited when they come so great because they're ideas in my head. I know what I want them to taste like at the end. And when that actually all comes together, when I'm just winging it, basically winging it, which is another thing about my blog, like, anyone could do anything. I haven't gone to culinary school. I did take a knife skills class once, but that was just for fun before I did any of this.
That's because she's a Bronx girl.
Not for the reasons you think.
Right.
Hey, yo.
She's a Bronx girl. Hey, yo.
But these scones came so good that I had people over the next week and I made them. They were flipping out because I used a little lemon juice. It seems they only ever use lemon zest.
Okay.
That's not enough. You just a little of the oil is just, again, chasing the flavor. I don't want to chase the flavor. I want the flavor. The best scones in the world. So look up my scone recipe if you're really now thinking, I want a lemon scone.
Yeah. Well,
because they also weren't crumbly, like you eat it and it falls apart.
Yeah.
Like it's stale all the time.
Yeah. Like a rice cake. It's a really good comparison.
It is not bad.
Yeah.
Not my scones, mine are better. Oh. I was very excited, and they did fit for the
awesome
occasion.
Well, I always, I have this thing, I don't know if I just can't follow directions, but I would always like make stuff. And I mean, a lot of people, I was talking about this last week. Everybody thinks I'm like some party girl, but I'm like, I'm not that I'm Susie Homemaker, because I'm not like one to be scrubbing floors and all that. But I love I'm a homebody and I love to cook. I love to bake. I love to do stuff like that. And, when, I was married and, I used to do all these things. So I would make stuff and then I'm like, God damn it, I don't like the way this came out. And so my late husband would say to me, well, did you follow the recipe? And I go, well,
ish.
And he goes, well, that's why it didn't come out that way. I was like, no, because I didn't like that, and I'm not putting that in it. That wouldn't work. And he goes, so every time I make something, he made up a word for it. He said, did you Karenize this recipe?
I love that.
And I said, yes. And I did it every time, which means most of the times when I make something, it almost never tastes the same.
The second time.
Because I always just Karenize it. But I like to create like a healthy version of a specific recipe. For instance, I grew up in a very multicultural environment, if you will. And a lot of my best friends growing up were Puerto Rican. So
adobo.
But I grew up on arroz con gandules, pernil, chicharron. I mean, all of that stuff. I was so good. I love that stuff. And, obviously you're clogging arteries, with all that and everything. And then I went on this no carb thing, right? So rice is like the enemy. You should never eat rice. Even though if you actually look up like that type of a diet, rice and beans are extremely healthy because it has every food group that you need, and you really don't need anything else besides that, right? So I started saying to myself, all right, so I'm not going to do the rice and, the regular, yellow rice. So I did master that. I got my yellow rice and my beans, which is really funny because one of my best friends is Puerto Rican, and she married another one of my best friends, and she's like, just last year I was there, and she goes, I can't even make rice and beans. I go, what are you kidding me? Like, she makes the best benmeal you could ever. I was like, oh my God, it was so good. She taught me how to make empanadas, like everything. She's like, I can't make rice and beans. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? So I'm like, all right, let's go, let's make them. So I made them, for the family and everything that day. So I kind of mastered that, but then I said, I'm not going to eat the rice anymore. Like, I'll make it for the holiday or whatever, but for me and my kid, I'm not eating that. So I make a Spanish style version of rice and beans, but I use like quinoa.
I love
quinoa.
Like
a quinoa. Sometimes I'll do like a quinoa and a brown rice, or I'll do a quinoa, and Trader Joe's makes like, there's like a medley that has, there's quinoa in it, and then there's like couscous.
Okay.
There's a couple of different things in there. So I'll mix all that stuff up together, and I'll cook it like Spanish yellow rice. And then I make the beans like
beans
that.
with it.
So now you're eating rice and beans with all the flavor of that, but not...
And the texture of a certain sort.
Right.
Yes.
And not the carbs that go along with it.
And I'll also throw into you, wild rice is a grain, not a rice.
That is
so
true.
You could look at that as well as another alternative to put in.
That's a good suggestion.
I did that for something, and I can't remember the movie. I know the movie, and it was about Alan Turing, and I forget the name of it. No Imitation. The Imitation Game,
I can't
or something like that, and I did the imitation grain because it wasn't. It's not a rice. It's a whatever it is.
Okay.
Oh God, sorry guys, can't remember everything, but I tend to remember the movies.
Just blurt it out in the middle of the show when you remember.
Blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of dishes over all these years.
Of course, I'm sure.
I started in '95, not the blog, just the Oscar thing.
Yeah, no, I mean there's so much to encumber, and then I think also, as you've been doing this 20 years, so like we were saying before, the awareness of what we should and shouldn't be eating changes as well.
Absolutely. And then the things that become popular within a diet, like we weren't eating kale. But now my latest obsession is eating kale.
Yeah.
I'm roasting kale in the oven just on a flatbed with a little olive oil, salt, and pepper, and let it become almost like potato chips. It is so good that I gotta stop. But it's healthy and it's delicious. Oh, I have to stop because it's making me crazy. Like I'm gonna overdo it and then I'll be sad.
Oh, gotcha.
Then you'll miss it.
Okay.
But it's so easy, and that's another thing. 10 minutes in the oven, mush it around. 5 more minutes, and you're done. Who can complain about cooking? It's so easy.
Exactly. And that's the thing that I think is so important because, everything is processed right now because we live in a world of let's go. Right? So, how many people are drinking, some people are drinking a shake, for instance, instead of a meal. Like, I do sometimes. And again, read the nutritional
100%.
information because I have a girlfriend, a dear friend of mine, her son was drinking these protein shakes, right, but the pre-made ones. So she was saying to me, oh, my son likes this, my mother's telling me that this is no good, so she knows I'm crazy, so she takes a picture of the thing and she sends it to me, and I go, well, that's shit. And she's like,
how old is her son?
19.
Yeah, he's still growing. Like they're not like until you're 21, your body's still developing.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter at any age. You shouldn't be putting that crap in your body. I mean, if you do it and you do it once in a while, it is what it is. But if you're drinking something all the time, like if you're spending $20, $30 on a protein powder, for instance, read what's in it.
100%.
You want to try to get something that's not genetically modified. You want to try to get something that doesn't have artificial sweeteners like a sucralose or whatever. You want something maybe like a Monk, fruit sweetener, things like
Or
that.
a no sweetener. How about getting unsweetened, unflavored, and sweeten it yourself with a little bit of fruit so that you're really getting a better product in your body.
Right. Or that's how I do it. You can even do like cocoa, like cacao,
Yeah. And it's unsweetened cocoa is, and like I said, a touch of pure vanilla. Mm-hmm. And that gives you that sweet quality. You won't miss the sugar. And also a touch of salt, because it somehow, if you don't have the salt, it keeps it a flat flavor.
It brings it out. Yep.
It makes it a more well-rounded, you'll be more satisfied. And just a touch of salt. We're not saying go over with the sodium.
Yep.
Another thing is, if you're going to use salt, use kosher salt. There's less sodium in kosher salt than in regular table salt, which doesn't make any sense, but it does.
Yeah, but
if you look at
table
it.
salt, to my understanding, just doesn't. I mean, there's no nutritional value
at all
in that whatsoever.
Yeah, it should always be sea salt or kosher salt,
right? Or the Himalayan, the pink.
Well, the pink is nice too.
The pink
I
salt.
like that.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the whole thing. Is that it's not bad to have all these things. Good, drink your cocktail. We're real ghetto style, drinking it right out of the bottle.
Well,
Bronx girls in the house. Bronx girls in the house. We got Prosecco in cute little bottles.
Well, because they're cute little bottles, we can do that. It's portion controlled. That's the thing about being healthy too. Portion control. That is where I go wrong. It's not the non-healthy. It is, I like it. I can
so
eat
good.
So much.
I want more.
And you do. It's terrible. Family style is the worst, and that's how we grew up. Like, my mother would put on the table a big plate of veal cutlets, chicken cutlets, and then be like, just have one. Then just give me one. I want 12.
Right.
Your eyes want what it sees. It's terrible.
I had told this on the air once before too, when I was younger and me and my late husband lived together. I would try to cook for the week. So I would do like the chicken cutlets, all that stuff. It was bad for me too, because he would eat 20 chicken. I made that for the week. You can't eat it all now. You gotta stop.
That's how I do it. Like, if I know it's in the house, I'm going to eat it, and I'll just get rid of it. And then you double eat in that moment instead of just stretching it out.
See,
I'm terrible.
I gotta say, but that's, and again, these are just our own battles, right? Because that's also self-control.
Totally.
But it's always mind over matter, right?
Of course.
So I always tell people, it's gotta be the way you live.
100%.
If it's not the way you live and you don't own it, you're never gonna own it. So,
of course,
a lot of people, I meet people and they go to me, but you don't even, I never see you eat. You don't eat. I'm like, I eat. I love food.
When should you eat? When you're in the middle of a gym class?
No, not
even. It's a funny thing.
People say that, like, they see me out or whatever, they think, I don't eat. And then, like, one of my girlfriends, I was with her over the holidays, and she was like, holy crap, you really do eat. I'm like, hello, if it's good and I like it, I do eat. But I'm usually conscious of what I'm putting into my body. And it's like a drug, because the other day, I don't know, I don't eat carbs. And the other day, I don't know what the hell happened to me. I was hungry. And at 8:00 at night, and I think it was Friday night now that I think about it, because it was a weekend, I was home. I was like, I'm starving. And I made macaroni and
oh my
sauce.
God, I can't believe you're saying that.
At 8 something at night. And I sat there like a gavone with the bowl in front of me. I'm like, you're going to want to throw up after you eat this.
But did you? Was it delicious?
I had to eat that. And I was just like, oh my God. But see, that's the thing. It's all so addictive. The carbs, the sugar, the minute you freaking dive into that, it's like it just sucks you right in.
See, and I can say, I don't care about sugar. I don't care.
No, yeah.
I'll enjoy the sugar, but it's not like I'm a sweet person.
Right, me neither.
I'm a sweet person.
Yeah.
But I don't need to eat the sweets. And it was funny because I was in LA, 2 weeks ago?
Okay.
I guess 2 weeks ago. And one of the last night we were there, I don't know, I'm saying this out. I was with a friend, and we went to one of Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant, Villa Blanca. And I never order pasta, and I ordered a pasta, and it was so delicious and just so hit the spot. And it was that's it. I was good having it. Yeah. I don't need to have it again.
Yeah. No, and
I felt it actually turned out to be good, because, I was thinking scam Lisa restaurant, big tourist trap, but it turned out to be delicious. So thank you.
It's good that you that's the hard part, is to get, like I said, if you go off the deep end, you got to come back from it.
Absolutely.
So in other words,
and don't go off the deep end into the thing that will now be your Achilles heel, Like if pasta's a thing that I'm not eating it's sort of like if you're a smoker and then you have one, I'm just gonna have one cigarette.
Right.
No. But if it's something that you're just like, I shouldn't eat it, and then you do that one time.
Well, again, but that's my point, is that you have to own a lifestyle, because if you are always going to those specific things, you will always go to those specific things. See, I know for me personally, I don't eat like that. Everybody just, oh, she's going to eat a salad. Oh, she's going to have a salad.
I love a salad.
And everybody makes fun of me with my salads. But you know what? I don't really care, because for me personally, I am not, like everybody says, oh, you're skinny. I kill myself. You and I
know.
You and I we met. How did we meet? We met because we go
sweating
to the gym.
next to each other in a gym
We
class.
go to the gym together, and
we lift barbells.
Yes, we go to the gym together, and that's how we met. And we talked about certain things we didn't like about ourselves and how we wanted to improve them. But like I own it. This is a lifestyle. I do. I mean, yes, we all know I like to drink my carbs and, all of that. But, I'm not the type, if I go out on a date, or, well, I don't know what that is, but, if I go out, I'm not going to sit there and be like, I just don't order heavy carb things. Like, I won't order macaroni. Like,
Often,
if I'm with somebody, if I'm with, like, one of my girlfriends is a macaroni girl. So if, she wants something, we actually ordered something last week. She came over and we got like these, we ordered Italian food, and we got like these, it was like a pocket, and it was like it was between like a tortellini and a ravioli, if you will.
Oh,
and
it was
like a little pocket. That's what they called
it. A pasta
pocket. And
what was in it?
It ricotta.
Oh, it was totally like a.
And it was and then it was in a pink sauce with like peas.
Oh,
I think,
and prosciutto.
I think so. So I think there was a wet spot on the chair. I mean, like we had that once there. I was like, I gotta get that again. And so
I gotta learn how to make that.
We got it.
That's inspiration for a dish.
I'll get you the name. I'll get you the name of it. So, but see, now you got to find out a way to do it with like. So now, the big thing is with cauliflower, right? So I bought cauliflower gnocchi. They have them at Trader Joe's. Now, again, you don't want to be near me later on, but it does fill you up. So if we can find a way to make the cauliflower, instead of the gnocchi, you make it into the pocket, now that would be an awesome discovery.
That would be a definite...
because that would be like a low carb, sinful.
You'll still need some kind of flour type product because you need some binding.
Yeah, but could you
less is better?
Could you use almond or coconut flour? So
probably
lower in carb.
Yeah,
we got to think about
or different. That. Yeah, like almond flour could be great because that's just pulverized almonds. That's something. Oh, we'll have to do that, and then I'll have to think of a good name for it to honor you.
You'll call it the Karen pocket. Karen in the pocket.
Karen in the pocket. So we'll have to do a little different thing. Yes, see, this is how it goes.
Pocket girl.
Exactly.
Like that.
And I'll come back and I'll reveal.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And you'll all be jealous.
But yeah, see, but I don't normally eat like that is what I'm trying to say.
Right, no, I don't at all.
But now you wake up the monster, and now all of a sudden the monster's like, I want to come out and play. So now I have leftovers, and it wasn't a lot. There was only like, 6 little pockets left, and there was a little bit of chicken left or whatever. But now those pockets are calling me. I can hear them in the refrigerator. Like,
are they still in your refrigerator?
They're in my stomach. Are you kidding? But this was last week.
But
what I'm saying is that that's what happens.
Well, if it's leftovers in your refrigerator, it's different than I'm just going to seek that out every day.
Yeah, but it's still bad. So, like, in other words, if the leftovers are still there, like if you're going to go off the deep end, you got to come back from the deep end. Is what I'm trying to say.
100%.
So you can't.
One indulgence is not a new lifestyle. You can have the indulgence. You need it. Like sometimes if you don't have it and you have other things instead of the thing,
you eat double the amount because you didn't get what you really wanted.
And that's like, don't have the low. We're going really full circle.
Yep.
You don't have the low fat or the low whatever. Have the thing you want. Have the full fat thing. And like, this is delicious. I will not finish that because it will be just satisfying to have a few bites of the ricotta, some of the melon, and I'm good.
Right.
It's just a better way to go about eating and living and enjoying your food.
Well, and the thing too that I would always encourage anybody is also, trying to seek out better alternatives.
Absolutely.
So, like for instance, a parfait is typically with cream.
Right.
Right. Now, again, you could do again, it depends on what you're following. If you're following like a low carb diet, you can do just regular heavy cream, put, like you said, a little bit of vanilla extract in it, and maybe a monk fruit or whatever, the sweetener, and that would be it. Or you can even, if you're vegan, you do the coconut milk, and you can,
and they have coconut sugar as well too.
Yes, coconut sugar. I use that as well. So if you do the coconut sugar and you make that into whipped cream, the other thing that I've done too is the Greek yogurt.
Yes, I love the Greek
without
yogurt.
anything,
Unflavored.
just plain.
Yeah, never buy anything with a flavor. Always buy the plain, people. It's just better for you, and you could flavor it yourself.
Well, you know what I like to do? If you find a good protein powder that you like if you do let's say now they have like a birthday cake one. They have the chocolate
I don't buy the flavors.
See, I buy flavored ones.
I flavor it up.
So now, and those are all low glycemic, ones.
Right.
So now
Index.
if you take that and mix it, even with the ragout. If you did this and if we actually mixed this with like the birthday cake protein powder to flavor that with that, you would never know that you weren't eating crap whipped cream. And again, whipped cream might not be bad for you, because if you make it from scratch,
it's so
not
simple.
Cool Whip. Anybody out there, Cool Whip is not whipped
cool.
cream. Cool Whip is not whipped cream. Those are chemicals that
don't eat that, really. No, it's better to just get it. And if you have a hand mixer, the hand blenders, you just get that little whisk on the end, and in 3 minutes you have whipped cream.
Yep.
It's the easiest thing. And I don't even flavor it. I just take that cream and whip it up. I'm always going to put it with something sweet. I don't like things overly sweetened. I was not the girl getting the old-fashioned birthday cake from the bakery with the white frosting. Like, I couldn't take it.
Okay.
I want my old school. Yeah, I don't like overly sweet anything.
Yeah.
I let the melon speaking for itself. I wouldn't sweeten that up.
Right. Well, and that's the whole thing too, is that you got to but you have to find your niche, because certain people have like I don't have a sweet tooth. I have a salty tooth.
Me too.
So that's what'll get me all the time, because I would rather, and I won't eat, potato chips or anything like that. But I went and got organic popcorn, like the kernels.
Yes.
And I do it old school on the stove. I looked up I looked it up to see what the hell to do. And it's like the Jiffy Pop, when you shake
Remember
it.
that? Yeah. It's the best smelling flavor and fun.
So I have the organic popcorn kernels, which again, if you're eating popcorn or any type of corn, it should always be organic, because corn is one of the largest genetically modified things you can eat, which is the worst thing in the world for you. So you get organic, and then the recipe that I found, I put coconut oil, which again, very healthy. Again, coconut oil in Karen's house. You put, it was like a couple of teaspoons of the coconut oil. You heat it. You put 5 kernels in the bottom and wait until those 5 pop.
Okay.
Once they pop, you put like 1/4 of a cup of the popcorn in. You put it on the bottom. You take it off the heat for 30 seconds. Then put it back on the heat with the cover on it, a little bit of jarred so that a little bit of the steam comes out, and you just sit there and shake it like a nut. You shake it, and you shake like a nut.
Aerobic.
Until it all pops.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Yeah, shake it like you pop in popcorn. And you just keep shaking it, and eventually it all pops. And then you can put whatever toppings you want. Sometimes I'll put grated cheese on it.
I love that.
I have the tahini. The tahini, yeah. Is it tahini? Or tahini? I thought it was tahini.
Is it like a...
Tajin.
No, then that's not... I don't even know what that is.
Oh my God. Well, honey, we got to talk.
Woo!
That on the rim of a freaking spicy margarita, and it's all over. It's a salty... It's like a spicy, salty, tangy flavoring. It almost has like a lime flavor to it.
Oh, I love that.
It's so good. So I'll put that on, or sometimes I put nothing on it. It doesn't even need salt, because from the coconut oil and the fresh popped, it tastes so good. So I have those, like for me, I don't do carbs, but to have a
little popcorn,
a cup or two of fresh popcorn, first of all, that's a lot.
Yes, that's
number one. Number two, it's not a lot of calories.
No.
And it's really not that empty, because it's fibrous, to my understanding, right?
And it's solving that
Right.
wanting something voluminous.
Right. The chippy thing. So if you're really having like a salt craving, you could throw the salt on there or different seasonings.
Correct.
I've even put, because I like spicy.
Right.
So I've even put like cayenne or something to that effect on it.
Love it.
So, you got to find those little things that keep you
And
going.
I have an air popper, so I don't even have that extra oil.
Yeah, see, but the coconut oil, again, we're going back
No, we
to
love
that.
the coconut oil.
See, I can't eat it just air popped because to me it tastes again like a freaking rice cake. I mean,
I love it.
Now I need the first of all, the coconut oil is so good for you. So I always feel good putting that in my body. So in it, on it, whatever. So
She's having a love affair with her coconut oil.
Oh yes, and I've had a love affair with my coconut oil and other people. I told you, it'll do everything you need it to.
Note to self, everybody, coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
Organic
I keep saying it.
coconut oil.
Just make sure that you don't buy it all and there's still some in the store for me or we're going to have 1-800 problems. But yes, definitely. But like something like that. So that's what I mean. Like when I say like food is exciting. Like if you don't like food, you have issues.
I agree.
If you don't like food, you probably don't like sex either.
You don't like anything that's
you don't like
flavorful, passionate, like an undulating fresh mozzarella. How do you not go crazy with a nice crusty Italian bread, a pizza dough bread, the round bread? Then you have some sliced red juicy tomatoes, a little balsamic, a little olive oil. Am I wrong?
I think my heart just pounded. I think my mouth is watering and there's a wet spot.
Oh my God. Avatabili Deli. Do you know that in Yonkers?
No, I don't know good delis anywhere in Westchester.
Avatabili on McLean Avenue. The best.
Oh, I've
They
heard
make
of
their
that.
own mozzarella. I mean, everything they have is amazing. But the mozzarella, they were redoing their deli and they were making the mozzarella in my warehouse in the Bronx. So every day it was like, here's a mozzarella to take home.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. And that's why I think I never got over that. That was so good.
Oh my God.
You
That's
get
amazing.
your calcium.
That's amazing. And again, depending on what type of a diet, that you follow, having the mozzarella works on certain diets. I mean, if you're doing a low carb diet, I don't think that you should go high fat, bad fat either. I mean, eating mozzarella and supersad
is not doing like keto.
No.
It's a little crazy.
But again, it's still really good. And if you can do that and satiate yourself,
right, not eat a whole mozzarella and a whole line of supersad.
But even if you do,
just a little bit.
But even if you do, if you do it, like if you do it and you stay on course with everything else, then you're okay, But you can't eat a supersad, every day and expect that you're not going to have a cholesterol, or heart issue.
Watch your clogs, and of a certain age, especially. I mean, if you're really young, you should be watching so you don't have those problems when you get older. If you're starting to tick up and get into your fabulous years, because everything's better every year, going to your theories of we don't have, no day is promised, so today is better and you'll never be younger than you are today. You've got to watch your health and you want to make sure you could do things. People said, I went skiing last week and I was told by some friends, what do you mean you're going skiing? You're going to break a hip.
Oh God.
I'm going to break a hip. 54 is not the end of your life. I'm going to, if I
Dude,
break
I
my
went
hip,
out dancing and broke my
God.
foot. I mean, it happens. Shit happens.
And nowadays, my parents in their 70s got new hips. Within my mother was like,
that's true. They're in and out.
They're in and out.
An assembly
My
line.
mother plays tennis 3 times a week,
It's
and they said you
crazy.
have to wait 3 months after this operation. The doctor gave her a clearing after a month and a half because she was that
crazy
advanced,
God bless.
and that was 70-something years old.
God bless.
So we're lucky we live in a time where we could break a hip, get a new hip, go move on with your life,
God bless.
and live your life.
Too bad we can't do that with guys.
What, break a man?
No, I mean just get one, just get another one and replace it, right?
You can.
It's true. I guess you could. We
want quality ones, though.
Yeah, well, if their hips work good, then what's the problem? I want that.
Good hips. Yeah, I would say you need.
I got good hips.
You're not a good man if you don't have good hips.
Oh my.
Sorry. Then you're just. I don't know. That's
the
all
hips
the
don't
topic.
lie. Wait, Shakira. The hips don't lie.
Hips don't lie.
Oh, there we go. The hips don't lie. Yeah. No, but it is true, and that's why.
Tangent.
That's why I'm saying it's definitely and Donna Martini was on last week, and
Love that name.
Yeah, I know. Then she was saying how, you don't even realize sometimes, like she said her daughter was like biting other children and she didn't know why. And then she took her to a good doctor that did, he took blood and everything and found out, like he said, does your daughter eat a lot of chicken? And she said yes, and so he said, well, your daughter has a reaction to chicken. Her body reacts to it, and this is why she wants to bite everybody. So now, once she removed chicken from her diet, she was no longer aggressive.
What in chicken would make you aggressive?
I forgot what she said.
That's so interesting.
I have a dear person to me that he will not ever touch chicken. All he eats is like salmon and like protein shakes. Like, I mean, he won't touch.
My mother won't. One day she used to make this great chicken teriyaki recipe, and one day she made it. She was all excited to eat it, and she was like, I'm off chicken. And she didn't have it again till last year at my Oscar party, because I made this orange marmalade chicken that was oh God, Ladybird was marmalade bird again. Corny, but it was delicious, and she tried it, and it was the first time in like 20 years she had chicken. And yeah, she just went off it.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because every bodybuilder, in America eats like, boiled chicken and like, asparagus or something like that, something disgusting like that with no flavor, which again, I did when I was after I had my son, I couldn't get the weight off, and I did that HCG diet.
What is that?
It's like a supplement, like not a growth hormone, but something in that vicinity, if you will.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
And you do, again, back to the 500, like you're supposed to do like 500 calories. Like there was like 6 foods you were allowed to eat, or whatever. And this HCG was supposed to help with your metabolism and help so that you weren't so hungry.
But were you feeding your son in the middle of all this?
Yeah, of course.
Well, breastfeeding.
No, I did not breastfeed. I didn't breastfeed. I felt I did my job long enough, and somebody else could feed him.
I 100% get
once
that.
he was born.
First 9 months, you.
Yeah, it's 10 actually.
True.
Yeah. So, I was following this diet, and obviously when you're eating 500 calories or whatever, you're fucking starving. So, yes. I remember I went to a girlfriend's house, and I don't know if I brought, like they were having a barbecue or whatever. I think I might have, I don't know. They were going to make me like a turkey burger with no bun, no whatever. And I swear, I think I bit somebody's hand off. Like I was so hungry. You go nuts. It makes you crazy because you're freaking starving. And your brain, when you deplete yourself of these things, your brain goes freaking crazy.
You're not yourself. Well, it's chemistry. Food is chemistry. That's why you get a sugar high, caffeine. Like they are chemicals in your body. They're not chemical products that were made in a lab, but they affect you in a certain way. Like we have to always remember, we're just science experiments. This
exactly.
vessel
That's what I said
works
earlier,
on
right?
things.
Yeah.
Like we have to watch. It's your hormones. Everyone's hormones change all the time. It's not an age thing.
Especially if
Men,
everything
women.
is being injected into your food. All these hormones that are being injected
God, I
into
didn't even
your
think
food.
of that. Yeah.
So that is
that's
also
the all natural, organic. It's better to spend a little more money, even if it's hard. Eat less, buy better.
Yeah, I mean, and it's tricky though. I mean, I do my best to at least try to buy, non-GMO. I can't always buy organic. I do try to buy like, no added hormones, this, that. And again, it's all a play on words. Because
you gotta really
when they
watch.
say no added hormones, they could be feeding them the
right.
feed that they're giving them has whatever shit in it that you shouldn't be ingesting. But because they didn't physically inject them with it, they didn't add hormones.
Of
so
course.
You really got to see
back
where
to
it
the
comes
all
from.
natural, and
right.
then also organic. You think they don't have pesticides? They just use approved pesticides.
So I thought they use like manure.
No,
which is
that's what you would think. No, they have approved pesticides. Because I did a few years ago, I did a juice line, juicing kits for when juicing was popular.
Yep.
And I was looking at all the rules for having that kind of company, and I was just amazed at what I was finding on all the government sites. It is so, like, the regulations aren't the regulations you think, and why you're able to put organics. This whole topic.
Yep.
All naturals, a whole different world.
Yep.
And the impression of them is
Yep.
not what you think.
And
Like
they're not
even when things
transparent. They're not transparent.
What do they do? Gluten free. I love when things like cantaloupe, gluten free. Really? Like, you didn't know that? Like, there's so many
plays on
words
Yep.
to get you to be attracted.
Yep.
And you have to really be marketing savvy. It really is. It's all about
that's
marketing.
all it is. I mean, it really is. And unfortunately, if people don't educate themselves, see, that's the part that pisses me off more than anything else, is that if people don't educate themselves on that, which is why I will talk to the wall about this if anybody will listen to me, you know, when you read stuff like that, well, it's natural. Like my mother-in-law will say to me, well, it's natural. I'm like, Ma, did you read that? There's nothing that you can even pronounce in the ingredients. I was like, you know, that's not natural. And then like I say to her, like, so now she knows what the non-GMO thing looks like and whatever. Cause she knows. I'm like, Ma, I don't want him eating that, you know, like, and I just, you know,
right.
And people don't understand because you know what? That's the part that really aggravates me is that people are trying and they think they are paying attention. They think
and yet still
they are doing the right thing and their family and their health is on, you know, the utmost importance to them. And they are thinking that they are benefiting themselves and they are not educated enough to realize that they aren't.
Well, it's not even that they're not educated enough. They're being bamboozled.
Well, but
it's
again,
just like they're wording things in a way that you've been told is the right words. But then you find out there are loopholes like in everything else. It's really tricky. They make it so it's tricky.
Well, it's just like they made a new word now for like high fructose corn syrup is called something different.
Right.
But it's exactly the same thing.
Read the stuff. If you're going to have anything, like if you're going to have soda, don't have diet soda. Have real soda. Have real sugar. Better to have that. Get the real, don't have it all the time. I mean, I'm not a soda carbonated person except for a little Prosecco. But, and truly, like, that really is where I go bubbles. Other than that, I'm not a soda person. But, if you have to have just a real can of soda and be done with it. And don't have 5 a day. Don't have 1 a day. Save it for a special occasion on Sundays. Sundays was something.
Right.
You know?
Well, and then like
try to cut yourself down.
Like I say, like even with snacks, I try to do that as well. You know, try to buy non-GMO snacks. Like places like Trader Joe's can also be a trap.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay? Because a lot of people think...
And Whole Foods.
Yeah, oh yes. But Whole Foods, a little better. Trader Joe's is a less expensive place, which is great.
Yes.
But you have to know how to shop there as well. Because,
of course.
again, it's all natural. Which is
but they don't claim to be all natural about everything.
No, but but my point is that people that go to Trader Joe's again have the conception that this is healthy. Oh, I'm in Trader Joe's, so it's got to be good.
Right.
It's Trader Joe's brand. It's got to be good. Most of Trader Joe's actual stuff, depending on what it is, if you read it or not, a lot of their stuff is genetically modified.
You have to read your ingredients.
Most of it, and I read up a whole thing. There was a whole study on Trader Joe's and a lot of other organics, like you were saying. And Trader Joe's is one of the greatest guilt. They're the worst. They're the worst.
They're on the bad side.
Offenders, because people think like, oh, I'm going to Trader Joe's. That's got to be it. Like my mother-in-law knows I go to Trader Joe's. In her head, if she buys something from Trader Joe's, it's got to be good for you. So it's a misconception. It's a fallacy. So, you have to read what's in it because, I look at the stuff and right away I see, soy in it, or I see
lecithin, the soy lecithin.
Yeah, the soy lecithin, but that's in a lot of things. But I see any type of soybean oil. Minute you see soybean oil, next.
But also, it's staying as far. What did they say in a supermarket?
Oh, the outside, right? The outside,
is the
right?
All natural,
right?
Or the fresh stuff,
right?
It's really the same thing. It's like try to stick to things that you could not need a box for.
Right,
not
true.
Need a can for.
But the point is that sometimes, you do need those things, and sometimes you do need something quick, and that's the whole thing, is that a lot of times people feel making a home cooked meal or going out, it's got to be expensive, and it's got to be labor intense,
and it doesn't.
Right. So that's the whole thing, is that like people need to be aware that you can do that. Like I said, I caramelize my rice and beans. So, beans are very healthy for you. You get, beans, you season them up. You make your quinoa or whatever, which is a healthy grain. You season those up the same way you like. If you like my Spanish rice, like you like Spanish rice, cook it like that. But challenge yourself. It may not come out. The texture may not be the same. The flavoring may not be the same. Taste it, try it, see, and then throw it together and see what happens.
You sound like you're talking about my blog. Like, it's never a shame. Like, always try things. I can't, like, I sometimes just put to taste on spices because I can't tell you. I don't know what you like as far as, like, I know how I like it.
Right.
But then also it depends on the day. Sometimes you want a little more salt.
Right.
Sometimes you want a little less. Sometimes you don't want pepper that day.
Right.
You have to really find your own wave. And I find that a lot of people, and now this sounds very like stereotypical, but my Italian girlfriends, like, they all like, then they don't look at what I make except when I go into other cuisines. They say, yeah, and like, it's what we do. And that's part of it too, like the way we grew up watching our families cook. And my dad cooks really well. And my dad cooks in my warehouse. I work with him still. He's 80 and he's crazy.
God bless.
He's nuts out of his mind. But he cooks so amazingly well. And I've learned a lot through him. And if you tell him like, well, that's not the right way. You got to make it like this. And I was like, well, it's not, that's the right way. It's a change of that way. But his way is his way, not everybody else's way. And it's what I'm used to eating. It's all your taste buds are your thing. And everyone kind of knows, like, you know how to cook, but it's changing up your spice profile.
Right. Well, and then, again, it's just trying something different, maybe not in your comfort zone, but also we all have, like, you were talking about the zucchini noodles earlier when you were talking about making the pesto.
The deconstructed
pesto. If you like, let's say you like to make a Sunday gravy. So what I do sometimes is my son loves spaghetti. So I'll do like spaghetti and then maybe I'll do zucchini noodles. And then what I'll do is I'll mix it together.
Perfect.
So that now I'm not eating a full portion of spaghetti. I'm eating a smaller portion of spaghetti. Right. And then I have the zucchini noodles. So it's satisfying. It's not like, because look, let's face it. Zucchini noodles in sauce, don't get me wrong, it tastes great, but it ain't pasta.
It's like,
you're not
of course
getting
not.
that salty.
You're not being fooled.
No, you're not being fooled.
The jig is up.
Right. So if you mix a little bit in there of it, it helps. So, like I said, I got these, the cauliflower gnocchi now, which are really good. They're very filling. I mean, it's a small package.
And if you can get them, because they're always sold out.
Are they?
Oh my God.
I've been lucky.
You've been very lucky.
I've been lucky then.
They're a very popular
I
item.
The right time. All right, don't buy those now either. No. Don't get my coconut oil on my gnocchi.
Don't go to the Scarsdale Trader Joe's.
Yeah,
please.
Don't buy my gnocchi or my...
Go to the one in Larchmont. Buy them all from there.
But, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you do stuff like that, and that's... So, in other words... The whole key is not to feel like you're missing out on something.
Right.
So a lot of times people feel like they're missing out on something. Like when I didn't give my son dairy. So I would make him, frozen treats, or I'll get him organic ice pops that are non-dairy. I give him certain things. And, when he would do fruit snacks, I would buy the organic ones. I'm not depriving the child. He's still getting that, but he's just not eating chemically laden shit.
And absolutely, it's up to you to decide that. I see so much. I don't have kids, but I did parent kids for a little bit. And I also see how kids are raised, and I see how parents are doing things. They'll shove anything in their face like it's so whatever you want, honey, whatever. No. You don't get the cookie every time. You don't need a snack to go to the store.
Right.
You don't need a snack in the car. You don't need a drink in the car.
You need a crack in the mouth.
You need to be
I'll
quiet back
cookie.
there.
I'll crack you right
You
in the
don't
mouth.
need a device in your hands. Listen to the music. Let's put on some music. Let's listen to something together.
Well, that's a battle.
Or have a conversation. You know what? It's not a battle if you don't give it to them. You just say, no, you're not bringing it in the car. Oh, you don't like it? That's terrific. Like, now you're going to bed early. Like, there's ways to do things. I know it's not the answer every time. And I know I don't have kids, so I don't want to hear it. But it's just what you allow them is what they'll do. And you're doing your job of... Right. The way you're raising them. And your son is probably going to always want something that's more... healthy.
Yeah, you know what? I thought that was the case. And
not now.
Necessarily.
No, eventually.
Oh, you think it'll come full circle?
I think it totally will, because that's going to be the flavors of his childhood.
So the bad part, that's a good point, but the bad part about that is that because he knows that I was so strict about the things that he ate and I wanted him to be healthy, he almost became like a food hoarder, if you will. You know what I mean? So now if he goes someplace and I'm not around, forget about it. It's like, you know, the lion was, you know,
oh yeah, he's
unleashed.
gonna gorge himself on that
So
stuff. Yeah.
that's the bad part. So I've kind of tried to bend a little bit. He had a lot of health issues when, you know, earlier on. So I changed all those things. Now, thank God, you know, he's you know, overcome them. So now I'm a little more lenient, but, you know, I would go crazy with what he ate because I know it's his direct correlation. And that was what Donna was talking about, you know, last week was like, you know, she had to take her kid and found out that chicken had an adverse effect on her. So
crazy.
she was saying that couples fight sometimes on the weekends because maybe they were out drinking on a Friday night, and by the time it wreaked havoc on their body, it was Sunday, and they were fighting, and they didn't know why they were fighting.
And they're seriously not stopping themselves to say, I don't feel normal in my body.
Right.
You really have to tune in and check in with yourself.
But you don't necessarily realize you don't feel normal in your body. Sometimes you just don't feel, you know, all of a sudden you just wake up and you're cranky, and you don't make the association like, oh, I drank 3 days ago, and now I'm
of
cranky.
course not. But if you're cranky, deal with your crank. Don't give it to somebody else.
Yeah,
and
but
people don't often do that.
Well, and again, sometimes if you're, you know, if you live alone, it's a lot easier to be cranky with yourself. But if you have other people around you,
I understand that,
and
yeah.
you're cranky, you know, people don't give you that space. I mean, it's like, okay, give me a minute, like, you know, let me get my head together, and people don't give you that space, so you're going to be crankier.
Yeah. I'm always a big, like, if I'm in a bad mood, I'm going to call out that I'm in a bad mood, but I'm not going to take it out on you.
Right.
It's best and
one would hope.
Well, it's just being
mind over matter.
And also just saying, like, let me always never take the person for granted. Right now I'm getting corny, but I always believe you don't take people in your life for granted, and I'm not going to take my bad mood out on you. I'm going to say, I am in a bad mood. This is bothering me. Let me not talk to you right now. Or something like I really feel like.
Well, now if you listen to my show last week, Donna would say that you would have to. It's called PM, positive manipulation. So you would need to, instead of saying I'm in a bad mood and I don't want to talk to you right now, give me space, it would be more where you would say like, I recognize that I'm in a bad mood. I want to release this. Today I'm going to have a positive day. So you manipulate your thoughts out of that. I'm in a bad mood. Don't talk to me. Don't bother me. You manipulate it into, I don't want to feel this way. I want to be happy. I want to have my best day. And you manipulate yourself to feel differently. That being said, like I said, if it's food associated and you don't even realize it, food, hormones,
right?
These things can make you freaking crazy. This is why people stay away from women.
Do people stay away from women?
Well, you know,
gay men do.
You know what I mean?
No, they don't. I have wonderful friends.
Yeah, no, gay men love women as long as they're not having sex with them.
Oh, correct.
And you are listening to Meal Talk with Annette and Karen on Real Talk with Karen Stacy live on MiamiMikeRadio.com, and we are talking about one's favorite subject.
Food, glorious food.
Yes, and so I have Annette here who she has written a book, which if you can see on my Facebook Live, it's called Red Carpet Menus, and it is available on Amazon. She is Kitchenette, which is like a kitchenette, but it's Kitch with her name, Annette. So don't screw it up like I did. And
you can also search by my actual full name too, Annette Zito.
Annette Zito. And obviously, if you guys are on my Facebook Live or on any of the feeds on Miami Mike Radio, if you can't find Annette, I can find her. I'm gonna are we going to the gym? You going to the gym tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right.
9:30, right? You're going to the
spin. She's doing karaoke spin, right?
What is that?
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
Somebody had mentioned, and Mary has been on my show a couple of times actually. And when she's off from swimming, which should be within the next couple of weeks, she's going to come back on again. I don't know what the hell she's doing. Somebody had suggested that we do a grease like the movie Grease, do like a spin class with it.
Oh, so funny.
So my guess would be that I saw she has a Bluetooth microphone. So I don't know if she's going to make us spin and sing because she likes to do that.
She'll yell at us to sing. I sing the whole time. I have to say, when I know the song, I can distract myself through like, put it up a little bit, resistance. And I'm like, oh. But if I'm singing a song, I'm distracted. And I sing loud. If you sit next to me,
and that's really great as long as the music is louder than you.
Yes, and it is.
And that's my whole thing. Some of the teachers don't make the music loud enough. And if I have to listen to the person next to me, I want to kill myself.
Well, if you're sitting next to me, I'm delicious. I sound so well.
All right. Well, we sit across from each other, I think.
I know. I know where you sit. Good.
But tomorrow we're going to be at the gym,
100%.
Sweating. I do double spin tomorrow. So I do spin at 8:30 and then I do it again at 9:30. Yeah, I do double spin. I try to break it up a little bit. And that's the other thing too. We're talking about food. I like to eat. So I try not to, like, especially if I'm eating bad, I try to get back into the swing of things, my exercising, and then like I'll grill chicken and vegetables and salad. I'll do that for a couple. My son will be like, "Ma, please, I'm saladed out." Like by the time Wednesday comes,
so many different salads you can make.
He's like, delicious. "Mom, saladed out." I know, but it's true. After a while, you do kind of, it's enough already. Like I can't eat another salad. Like I'm like, all right, like you said with the kale, like you got to stop it after a while.
Well, I don't want to ruin it for myself.
Well, that's what I mean. And I end up. I love salad. I'll eat it morning, noon, and night. But then I'm done, and I'm like, don't hand me lettuce. Like I don't even want to look at it. I don't want to know about it. So, it's all...
Well, you have to shake up your salad game, just in general.
Yeah.
Like, it can't always be your iceberg or your romaine. It has to be shook up. Like, I like to do baby arugula, baby spinach, have a whole different greens. Those are better for you. The darker greens, they're more healthy.
Yep.
But, taking a wedge of iceberg and putting some salt and pepper and white balsamic from Trader Joe's is my favorite.
I'm like salt and pepper, bacon, and blue cheese.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to go there. That's delicious, but that's not going to get you where you need to go.
Sure, it is. If you're
depending on the path.
If you're not doing carbs, you can
get
away with that.
If you're ketoing out, you can do that, or more Atkinsy feeling.
Yeah,
but in general, in staying in a balanced world where you can have a carb and you didn't just ruin your whole ketosis. Right.
Ketosis? Ketones. No, but you can't. Ketosis. Carbs will take you out. Carbs, sugar will take you out of your ketosis. So
right, of course.
You'd have to be.
Well,
very,
I'm
very
saying
low.
If you're doing like more of a balanced thing,
right,
versus a specific way of eating,
right.
Like I want to eat the bread. I'm not having the bread. I love the bread, but in any bread, like the bread, not white bread though. Never white bread. White bread, read those ingredients. They put so much sugar into that, and that bothers me on so many levels.
I know.
So, and it's mushad. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's
well,
not,
you know what though? There's nothing,
I'd rather have a nice Italian
I got to
bread.
tell you though, I will say there is nothing better than a PB&J on mush shit Wonder Bread.
Oh, like
that soft mush bread with peanut butter and jelly. Forget about it. That is heaven.
I grew up on, I think, Tasty Bread, not Wonder Bread. That's if we
whatever.
Have white
I'm just
bread.
saying this.
No, I know, no, but Wonder Bread is softer and it's got a thing, but I can't.
Just for that. But I never eat that at all. But I'm just saying there is nothing like my mother-in-law will make that peanut butter and she was peanut butter jelly. She never says peanut butter and jelly. It's peanut butter jelly.
I love that.
So it's just but there's nothing like that. Like you remember, like my grandmother. They
well,
make
then you're back you're just a kid again. That's the joy. And peanut butter and jelly. Also jelly. You got to read your ingredients on the jelly.
There is no reason for sugar in jelly. None.
Exactly. There shouldn't be. And sometimes they do it because sometimes the fruit can be bitter. I get it. But also, look, if sugar's your first ingredient, that's not the best jelly to get. Because that means whatever the first ingredient is the most percentage of what's in that product.
Right.
So,
right.
Got to watch it once again.
Right.
Ingredients. Also, there's a way to make freezer jam that is really easy. And you can use, you use a pectin. And you don't have to use sweetener. You don't have to use sugar, depending on the one you get. So that's something to also consider, especially as we're going to start getting into the fresh fruit season.
Can you make me that?
Oh, God, yeah.
Can you teach me how to do that?
It's
so cool.
so easy.
I love that.
I have a video on it, too.
Oh, see that?
Yeah, I did a strawberry one, fig one and a blueberry one.
You give me the fig one,
fresh figs
with
God.
goat cheese. The fig with goat cheese,
fresh figs sliced, a little goat cheese, a little balsamic.
See, my mouth is
and we're not talking about the dried figs, the calamari figs. No, we're talking about those fat, plump, succulent,
beautiful ones.
Food can be really sexy.
Oh my God.
There is a cookbook that I got years and years ago, and I used to give it a
it's
bridal
a full
showers.
moon, and we're talking about all this sexy stuff. I'm going to climb the goddamn walls now.
It was called Intercourses.
Oh God, hello. I'd like to do that too, thank you. You're screwing me up. Enough, Annette. You getting me drunk and you're talking dirty to me.
But I'm never going to
screw you. I'm all done.
I'm sorry. It was about food, gang.
Yeah, I'm only kidding. No, God, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Wait, we have to...
fan me off. It's getting hot in here. You got a full moon. You're getting me drunk. You're talking dirty to me. A super moon.
Dirty?
Super stuff. Listen, you're talking
Mud.
figs. You're talking figs and cheese.
Oh, and then this book is beautiful, though. It has gorgeous photography, and it has fig recipes and artichokes and all this sexy-looking food. And the photography is just phenomenal. So if anyone who has a bridal shower to go to, buy my book, put that in the package, then also get Intercourses, and then get a little breakfast in bed table.
Oh, you're killing me.
No, it's a great shower gift.
Intercourse is now breakfast in bed. And
Intercourses, not intercourse.
You see what happens?
That's the play on words of the adorable book. I know where your brain is.
You see what happens?
All right, we have to meet some nice man.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's all. I'm done now. I can't breathe. I'm hot now. I'm breathing heavy.
That was very easy. Just the name of a book.
You see what I'm saying? Well, no, because I'm telling you, you had me at figs and cheese.
My God. Just the figs. When they come out, when they're the really big ones, when they come out, I'll make sure to give you a case.
Oh, my God. You have no idea.
They are so amazing. If you haven't had a fresh fig, I know a lot of people have not.
Oh.
They think it's just the dried figs. If you have not had it, please, my God, get these figs in the season.
Oh.
They are, they're addictive.
Well,
and I can eat too many of them, and it's wrong.
Yeah, and that also sends you right to the bathroom too. Those figs.
Oh, I don't have that problem.
Oh my God. My girlfriend used to make. She got the fig spread. She would do fig, goat cheese, and wrap prosciutto around it. Nice. So that. Oh, and she put I think a walnut. She put something else in it, and I can't remember what else was in it. But when I tell you, I didn't give a crap about what we were eating for dinner. I was like, I don't know what you guys are eating because I'm eating all of that.
Well, that's like natural sweet with savory. I love that combo.
Favorite.
Oh my God.
Favorite.
Well, if you notice, they're making a lot of ice creams and a lot of desserts in interesting flavors now, like basil ice cream, rosemary.
Yeah, see, I don't know how I feel about that.
I kind of could get into it. Not aromatic, but the fragrant flavors are really intoxicating.
Yeah, I mean, I like for instance, like the salted caramel, like you were saying before. If you add
a touch of salt,
to something sweet, it brings it out, and vice versa. I mean, I remember making chili, and add a
little cinnamon.
And that's what I was just about to say. And they said to put cinnamon, and normally you'd throw up if you're thinking, ew, like cinnamon.
That's good. And a lot of Mexican cooking uses a lot of interesting spices, not just what you think.
Yeah.
And actually, one of my hacks are making your own taco or chili spice mixtures. So, because if you look at those, they have sugar in them. Read your packages. Easier to get the spices, have them just in your spice cabinet, and sit there and just put it together and keep it in a jar for yourself.
That's true. I mean, you have the extra time to just put it together and do it.
Well, at the time you're making the chili, it'd be annoying, but you get a jar.
That's what I mean.
Put it together.
Get a mason jar.
And just put taco seasoning on it, and then you can measure it out.
Taco Tuesdays.
Oh, it's Tuesday. Oh, we could have done that
too.
I could have done a taco thing. I could have done I also do a chili using my taco seasonings. I'm just thinking about healthy and thinking about when you said you put zucchini noodles with spaghetti. I've done a pound of chicken. I think it's ground chicken and a pound, not a pound, but a package of cauliflower rice.
Yeah.
And I make that with the chili, and you don't realize it's the cauliflower rice because of the way you chop up the rice.
I don't think I've ever had it.
You could make fried rice with the cauliflower
you mean
rice.
with the cauliflower? Yes, I have made that. Yes,
Yeah.
I do that too.
With the chili, it like doubles your portion. You're getting some healthy vegetable in there that nobody knows is in there. You put in your beans. You have your flavoring. You're using chicken, not beef. And because of the spices, you don't need the beef. Because beef,
Where's the beef?
Oh God, that's dating yourself for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm very good at that. Thank you.
You're a youngster.
I'm very good at that.
I remember 48.
Oh, God, please. Like it was so long ago.
I know.
I'm going to be saying that next month.
Oh, exactly. But you're never younger than you are today, damn
That's true. And you know what? Screw it. I own every almost 9 years of my life. So
I am
all
so
good.
Asian about aging. I'm like, respect the elders. They've lived through life. Respect me. I've lived longer than a lot of people. I think it's fantastic.
Well, I think you should own everything. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to be accountable. You got to own it. If you eat like shit, own it. And just know I eat like shit. And then don't
be
complain.
surprised when you're sick or diabetic.
Or
if that's
don't
what's happening.
sit there and be like, ow, like, listen, don't ow. I freaking don't eat a certain way. I work out the way I do. So don't ow, like you're looking at me like I'm the type, I could sit next to somebody and gain weight with whatever they're eating. I'm not that girl. I say that all the time. Like everybody wants to say, oh, you did it. Yeah, I kill myself. Like I really do. And over the summer when I don't kill myself, I pay for it. I still got this thing on my stomach. I told you, I can't get rid of it. And that was from 2 summers ago because I, spend my days drinking and chilling, and I don't work out because I do it during the year. And in the summertime, it's hard because of my son. I can't, do both.
But here, let's say something. We are perfect, everyone. And you, just as we are.
Yeah.
We are perfect. We want to make improvements to what we think is right, but right now we're fine. We are fine.
Listen,
we're healthy and gorgeous.
I
damn
don't know
it.
about perfect. I mean, that's great that you to think that way.
Perfect is an idea.
Perfect is an idea, exactly. I always want to be the best version of myself.
Right.
So, I don't think anybody is perfect.
No, God, no one is.
And I think that we just all want to be the best versions of ourselves. So that takes work and effort. So that is also from the inside out. So if you eat like shit, you're going to feel like shit. If you act like shit, you're going to be shit. It's it's all of that. It all comes from somewhere. So if you eat badly, if your mindset is bad,
the mental comes out in the physical and the mental comes out through the physical.
Yep.
Remember in the olden days when they used to be in an
olden
old
days.
No, in the old movies, that's where I am. I'm in black and white movies. And the man would be annoyed, put on his hat and say, I need to take a walk.
Yeah.
And they would come back and solve their problems. Now we are not, we're so sedentary.
Now we're texting them, you better get back here, motherfucker.
Yeah, we're just like so contact. We don't just say, let me take a moment and go take a walk. We are sedentary. We sit down and we don't move all day, which is why gyms make money because people no longer walk and do. And you have to remember that and say, God, I need to, maybe if I move a little, whatever's bugging my head, whatever I can't think of,
get out of your head. Yeah.
And that will allow you to have that extra slice of pie.
Well, and again, sometimes you can't get out of your own head and you have to talk yourself through it.
Of course.
So,
but it's that funny thing, like when you're in the shower and you all of a sudden get the answer to a problem.
Well,
because all you're caring about is getting the shampoo out of your hair.
I wish that you would have listened to last week's show.
I wish I would have.
Well, then go
I was skiing.
I will go on my page, go somewhere and get it because she was talking about how Donna Martini was talking about how therapeutic when you're in the shower, and if you ask for the truth will come to you
absolutely.
if you listen to it. So you just said exactly what we talked about. And she said the shower was the place because it's like you're washing away all of those things. So she said if you actually think about it in a spiritual way, that while you're showering you are washing away all of those things that you no longer want, then
that's an interesting concept.
Then you can release all of that. So that's all that positive manipulation.
Sort of like the old wash that man right out of your hair, South Pacific.
Exactly. Well, and
the show tunes now I'm on.
Again, right. It's positive reinforcement. Right. So it goes with everything. If you want to start eating like crap, if you say to yourself and you go, oh shit, who I know who goes on Weight Watchers, who does this, who does that, and nobody owns it. So now you're going on a diet. Everybody gains 5 pounds before they go on a diet, right? Because you got to eat before.
Because
you
everyone
go on a
says,
diet.
I'm not going to be able to have this anymore, so let me eat it now.
Right.
And it's like, you're going to be able to have it. You're not changing. Like, people who change the way that they eat, they never change it for the rest of their life. They change it to reach a goal.
But you have to change it for the rest of your life.
But no, you can have a piece of pie. Yeah. You just can't always have a piece of pie.
Yeah.
You have to just say, this is my Sunday special.
Right, exactly. And that's what I do. Like,
that doesn't mean eat a whole pie on a Sunday. Again, that whole
But again, if you
concept.
do eat the whole pie on a Sunday, then just wake up on Monday and don't do it again.
Exactly. In fact,
make sure you finish the pie. Don't leave it in the refrigerator like me, because leftovers will haunt your ass.
Then you'll
the
never
next day.
get back on track.
No, you gotta get it right. And that's what
throw
I'll
it
do.
out
If
and
it's
throw the
done,
garbage
I
out
throw
if
it
you have
out.
to.
Exactly.
And I know waste of food not good,
No.
but sometimes better to waste the food than have it wasted inside of you just because you didn't want to waste the food. Like, that's what did my grandfather used to say? It's between you and the garbage. That's how it used to go down. But you made me think of something else about food. It'll come back to me, or maybe not.
Huh. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
You've gotten me thinking about food like crazy. And look at this. We're actually
out of
over
time?
time. Yeah, we're 3 minutes over, believe it or not.
And you're still with us. Thank you.
Because, yes, thank you guys for staying tuned in. I mean, Meal Talk, how could you not, right? And we could keep talking for like another 6 hours.
Oh my God, because when you're talking about food, usually you're eating and talking about food, like you're having a steak and you're talking about the best taco you ever had. And it's like, just if you're in my family at least.
Well, we'll have to do this again, and we'll have to have more food.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll even make a recipe.
Figure out more food. Yeah, we'll do something. I mean, this was fun.
Yeah, really fun.
I mean, we met at the gym. Like I said, we really have we've talked just surface, whatever. And we talked about, you said, "Oh my God, you have a show," and I
I'm so impressed with this, and her whole setup is delightful.
You're very kind. So, I was like, come on the show. So it just kind of happened, and here we are, and it was fun.
Yeah, really great.
It went by so fast.
And I've been away the last few weeks, so it was like perfect timing.
Yeah, I mean, it really went by fast. We wanted to, there was a couple of things I didn't even get to, but I think, we did pretty good. Again, just remind everybody where they can find you.
I am at, I'm Annette Zito. My blog is Kitch Annette, KitchAnnette. You could find me on, just kitchenette.com. On Instagram, it's Kitchenette, at Kitchenette. On Facebook, I'm Kitchenette. On Twitter, I'm Kitchenette. And my book is Red Carpet Menus. You can find that on Amazon. You can direct link from my page on my website. And join the blog. Follow my channel on YouTube, because that, again, is Kitchenette.
See that? She's got it all. She's going to help me, too, because we're going to figure out how to do better something.
Light. We need better light.
All right, so we need better something. So
yes.
We're going to figure out how to do better something.
But she's great. She's great.
You're very kind. Thank you. Well, it was fun. We definitely had fun. We're going to be spinning tomorrow. We'll be talking about it.
Yes, tomorrow morning we'll be spinning our minds out.
Again, if there's, ever topics, like I know food is a great topic and we could talk about this even more, and we will, because I kind of saw somebody said, more talk. So we will definitely do Meal Talk again. Yeah. And we'll figure out another thing. It's so easy to talk about.
And throw
food.
in recipe suggestions.
Yeah.
Because that's also, we can make them special for the show.
Yeah, definitely we can experiment with some stuff. So I also wanted to let you guys know, I got a phone call before the show tonight. And we are doing, it's Miami Mike's official New York birthday party. Which is April 27th at Noma Social, and there's going to be Fascination is going to be performing live, and we're going to have Glenn Frischer, DJ Glenn Frischer, DJ Surge, and my 19th favorite DJ Anthony Mangini, and Frankie Maggs. And Tony Sinapi. Wow, we have a big lineup. And
oh, God, yeah.
I just learned that me and Miami Mike are going to be hosting the event. So it's his official birthday party, even though him and our birthday is a day apart. It's not my official birthday party. It's his official birthday party, which means that somebody got to make me my own official birthday party. But I am hosting it with the official birthday boy. Miami Mike and our birthday is one day apart from
which
each
is
other.
yours?
I'm the 18th. And he's the 19th, if I'm not mistaken.
Of April.
I'm the 18th. He's the 19th. This is happening Saturday, April 27th at Noma Social. So hopefully I got everybody in there because I am, yes, along with Frankie Mize. Yeah, so this is going to be awesome. There's a lot of really high rollers. So that should be a lot of fun. So I also just want to remind you guys, I know I don't have a very updated list, so I do apologize if I get some of these shows, I leave anybody out. But, on Mondays, we have Luke from, I think, 12 to 3. And then The Ride Home with DJ Paulie, a.k.a. the Portuguese Prince, from 6 to 9. Mind Candy Mondays with Rob Mush, 9 p.m., Then Tuesdays is Steve, DJ Simply Nice, from 1 to 3. And of course, Tuesdays, Real Talk with Karen Stacy at 8 p.m. And then Wednesdays is DJ Lady E at 7 p.m., followed by the Mayhem Loyal Listener Show with Hamilton Czar and Maymay, 8:30 p.m. Thursdays, we have Gino Caffarelli's Throwback in the day. Then we have the Traffic Jam. I always say Traffic Dam. And I guess because I hate traffic. So I'm like, damn it. The Traffic Jam. Damn. With DJ Michael Anthony from 4 to 6 p.m. And then I know I can't make this stuff up. Thank God thank God this is unscripted because I would never get it right anyway. I can't even read off a list. You see, I'm bad at this. Fridays, we have DJ Simply Nice at 8 p.m. to 10. Friday night sessions with Tony Sinapi from 10 o'clock on. Saturdays, we have the Ghazi Show at 8 p.m. And of course, my 19th favorite DJ, Mr. Anthony Mangini, Saturday Night Dance Party. We do have a lot of pop-ups that come up. I know we have some new DJs that are going to be coming on the station. So a lot of exciting things coming about. So stay tuned on MiamiMikeRadio.com. Thank you for listening tonight to Real Talk with Karen Stacy. And tonight's edition, Meal Talk with Karen and Annette. And thank you so much for making my full moon go super. It was a pleasure to be with you tonight. As you know, I started my day off a little rough, so it's nice to end it well.
Well, I'm glad I could help, and thank you so much. This has been so much fun.
Well, thank you. I mean, you brought treats. We got the parfait, which was absolutely delicious. As you guys can see, I almost ate it all. And our little mini
I kept drinking it the whole time.
Yeah, our little mini Prosecco, which was awesome as well. So thank you. And don't forget Annette's book. Check it out on Amazon. What I will do also is when I'm going to share this, when you get the opportunity, put the link in the comments as well so that they can go right to it.
Terrific. I will definitely do that. Thanks.
All right. Well, I love you guys so much. And we'll talk soon. I will see you next week. Happy Tuesday. Bye. Bye. All right.